In. Now we're in. Hey guys. Hey, hey, hey. How are you all doing today? You say hello. My name is Nelly.
Hello.
And
I'm Nelly number 2.
Yeah, this is Nelly number 2.
Mhm.
He's called, do you have a name? Nelly number 2.
Let's call me Bob.
He says call him SpongeBob. My name is Nelly, and this is my husband. He's called Risto. And Daniel. Okay. Mwah. And today we are here to have a chat about our process of moving from Kenya to Finland. And I had shared with you guys like a link where if you want to join the stream, you can always feel free and join and share your experience from whichever country you moved from or where you are and how it all went down. But to start with, let me try and read some of the comments for you amazing people who've been here. Adele, Samantha, thank you so much. Tekla Clay, yes, please, guys, remember, please to subscribe and support our channel in that way. Tekla Clay says, welcome, Abuja. Do you know who Abuja is?
Abuja, that's the capital of Nigeria.
Yeah, it's the capital of Nigeria. So Tekla Clay
welcome,
says,
Abuja.
Welcome, Abuja.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, yeah, that's really nice. Yeah.
Always have to be Nigerian.
And then we have Rose Masua. Thank you so much for coming. Catherine, hey, how you doing, girl? Julien Wakesho, how are you, sweetheart? Rachel, how are you? Thank you so much for coming. Detiu, thank you so very much. I see you guys so much. I really, really appreciate you guys so very much for being here with me today. Yeah, it's the capital of Nigeria. That's we actually call it Abuja.
Abuja.
Say Abuja.
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 Say Abuja. Abuja.
It sounds like a.
It's like now just
sounds like a Nigerian dish.
You know.
Sorry, I'm being cheeky. I have a lot of Nigerian friends. They'll understand.
That's the Kenyan slang for Abuja in Nigeria. So it's just like the way we talk Sheng. Yeah, the way we talk Sheng. Yeah.
No.
So which I'll give you a nickname, Abuja. Abuja.
Okay. Well, we better continue.
Okay. So Lavenda, thank you so much for coming. Eunice, thank you so very much. Tony, I see you. Asante sana kwa kuja. Really, really appreciate this, guys. Thank you so very much. So again, there's a link I had shared on my there's a link I had shared on my, I thought it was a premiere. Oh, sorry, sweetheart. It was we're doing a live video. So you're still here. So I really, really appreciate this. Waingo, thank you so much. Also, before we start, feel free to share this with your friends and relatives because I feel like it's an information that can help everyone. Either having a family member who wants to come abroad or anyone who wants to move abroad as a whole, right?
Or even going the other way.
Yeah, or even coming from abroad going to Africa or Kenya.
Well, we can.
Yeah. So I am a Kenyan by birth, and you are
Kenyan by extension.
Kenyan by extension, and another one.
What do you mean?
Like your nationality.
Oh, sorry. Finland.
Finnish. Yeah. Oh, Alice. Hey. Karibu sana. Klein says, beautiful family. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate you. So please share this with your friends. Please share this with your friends so that it can help everyone who is willing to also like come abroad or something like that. And to help them basically start their own process of moving abroad. So in our guest list today, we have Daniel. our lovely, lovely, lovely cute pie here. Yeah, your name is Cutie Pie, right? And I love you so much. Yeah. Okay. I love you. Yeah. So yeah, he is Kenyan by extension. So anything ugali, sukuma wiki, samaki, omena, right?
Salmiakki.
Not salmiakki in the Finnish way. Do you like omena?
No comment. Yeah.
Do you like omena?
Well, I mean, you mean apples.
So you know me say for better for worse.
Omena, it's apples. Everybody likes apples.
Seriously?
Omena is also apple in
Omena
Finnish.
is also apple, but in
in
my
Finnish.
tribe it's a type of fish. So do you like the fish?
Yeah, they're cute. They're on the swimming
You know,
pool.
you have to give like a cute answer.
Yeah, I said they're cute. They're cute. They look so sweet in the water. Love them.
Yeah. So please, guys, tag your friends. Let them know we're having this live here. Thank you so much for the 41 people in the building. I really, really appreciate you guys so much. And like I said, this conversation can help one person or two. And if you're ever even thinking about coming to Europe or the other way around, you can always like write your comments down there, and we can always like try and answer them. If you have something like, for example, if you have been abroad before, you can always join in the stream and share with us like your experience, basically, right? Because we'd also love to hear like how it happens in other countries altogether and other people's experiences, because they might not be the same as well. So before we start, thank you so much for joining me. Really appreciate it. You are so amazing. Okay. Thank you. Nimempatia signature. So yeah. So when we started applying for visa,
What, you mean residence permit?
Residence permits, we were still not having. Were we having Daniel then?
No, you were pregnant with them. No,
we started before I was pregnant.
No, we were about to start. Yeah, no, we started when you were pregnant.
Yeah.
With Daniel. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we started when I was pregnant, and the whole process took a long time. And along the way, there are many things that we did not see coming, or some other things that were not well explained for us, and just major delays that really happened. And yeah, so that is why you removed the signature. That is why we took the longest we took. But let's share this, and so you're able to understand like the type of documents you need, the process it took, why we experienced delays, things that you can avoid doing, and things that you can do to speed up your process and stuff like that. So would you want to start, or should we go forward?
Well, are we saying why we moved also, or we started? I
think it's better we start from why we moved. Where did we live first? Okay, so let's start from where did we live first. So we were both living in Kenya. I met my husband in Kenya, and in Kenya online. Okay, I met my husband online through a mutual friend. And I think the story goes, you guys have watched the video so far. I think we shared the story of how we met. And so after meeting, my husband came to Kenya, where we lived for about
3 years.
3 years before.
Yeah, basically 3 years. And because just for those of you who don't know, I am, for better or for worse, a humanitarian emergency aid manager, so aid worker. So that's what brought me to Kenya in the first place. I've been in Nigeria previously before that, in other places like Mali, Pakistan, and so on. So I was there in what was it? 2012 to set up a country program for a British NGO.
Yeah.
A new country office and a program for those of you who may remember, it was the tail end of what was really East Africa famine. It was also affecting northern and western Kenya, but it was principally diabolically awful in southwestern Somalia.
Yeah.
So it was a 2011-12 famine. And so I was there to set up the country office and also deliver a WASH, that's water sanitation response in Mogadishu, as well as just look at other options for Kenya, this general development, and also humanitarian.
Yeah.
I was up at Isiolo at one point, for example. And yes, so then I got recalled to UK, changed jobs in UK, then changed jobs again, then came back in 2014 with a hospital NGO based in Somalia. So I basically ended up working straight after that. That was basically 3 years then, 3 years from then.
Yeah.
For this reasonably within the humanitarian sector, reasonably well-known Somali hospital NGO called the Galkayo Medical Foundation. So I spent a lot of time in Nairobi as well because we had, for example, UN funding. So I had to meet with the my UN counterparts.
Yeah.
On just donor grant management, operational issues, things like that. So basically, I was there like that for about 3 years, and then that contract ended, and I had to end up back in the UK temporarily, and then I ended up with a job in South Sudan, Oxfam.
All the same were together, so.
Yeah, I mean, so came back over, but that had been scheduled for. They told me I had 18 months funding. But in the end, it only ended up, I was in the job for 9 months because there were various problems. And most of my team was let go. So I had to go back to the UK. So that kind of brings us around to why we decided to leave
Kenya to come to
really
Finland.
Had to leave Kenya because my work was becoming increasingly more erratic with the short run unpredictability of the
That's so cute, Matthew. Love it. Oh, that's so beautiful.
So it became increasingly unpredictable. So we really, when you have things like school fees to worry about, private medical insurance, these massive costs that you have to pay up front in a place like Kenya.
Yeah.
Then it became unmanageable. So let's go put Daniel to bed. He's going to sleep. It became unmanageable, basically, or too risky for us, certainly from a financial point of view. I mean, there were other issues we had to deal with as well, but the financial issue was the main thing, given the way my work was going. We really decided we had to find a more stable location. So we started the process in 2018 to move to Finland.
Yeah.
And Nelly was then pregnant with Daniel.
So the reason why we chose not to go to Britain was
Britain is basically impossible to get into.
So I don't know if you guys know, but my husband has.
Yes, I'm also. My mother is British.
So my husband has 2 citizenship. That is the Finnish and the British.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we wanted to at first try and go to Britain, but it couldn't work, so we ended up coming to Finland.
In short, it's too expensive. They created it's not just that, but they created a series of hurdles even for British citizens who are married to. I mean, now it applies to everyone because Britain has left the European Union. But anybody who wasn't an EU citizen, if Britain marries a non-EU citizen at the time, then there are this whole series of barriers, basically, that make it quite exceptionally difficult to make the move, and one of them is cost. So it was simply impossible. So because then I had and none of the children, imagine, qualified for British citizenship. That was because of a law that existed for some time. It's a bit crazy, but if you look at British citizenship law, they have a law for sort of every day of the week. If you're born on a Thursday and you haven't, you're left-handed and you only speak whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm joking, but I mean, you look to, it's very wild system they have. So it's not straightforward. All the Finns are just, what is the father Finnish? One parent? Any of them? Anybody Finnish? Finnish? Yes. Okay. Finnish. Yeah. One's Finnish. Go. Children Finnish. That's it. Finnish gone by. Finnish. You're in. So there's none of that kind of British nonsense with 10,000.
I try and read the comments. Chantivia says, "Thank God you are in you're not in Somalia, because right now it's very crazy over here." And Veraki says, "Amazing story, although Kizungu inanichoke." I'm straining to understand, so I think you have to speak a little bit slower.
Oh, am I going too fast?
Yeah. And then There's a lot of love in here. Alice says, who is also in Finland, says you made the right choice to come to Finland. Um, Baki, Julene is saying, hey Kiki. Bakita says, poor Kiki, just saw this on your Insta story. Kiki, thank you so much for sharing me out. And if you have a platform that you can share this live video, really appreciate if you can do so, because you never know who you call in to listen, because they're always also going to have to do this process one or another when the right time basically comes. So, guys, moving to Finland, basically, we started this process when I was pregnant at that time. And because I was pregnant, we wanted to come and deliver here.
Yeah.
Because it was going to be cost effective, and then two, I was already going through a lot, like health wise. So we thought, like, if this all rushed up, then we were able to be home and still be able to deliver in Finland. But it didn't go the way we had planned, because along the way, if you guys know, we are a family of now 5. So we have Adrian, Matthew, me, my husband here, and the little one, Daniel, who's also graced our presence today. Presence, wow. My lure is kicking in. And yeah, so it wasn't, sorry about that. It wasn't like so easy to get to apply and come on time. So what really happened was, when we first started the application process, I need to put this down. Put it down for me. I want to like close it so that we have it. Okay. When we started the application process, what happened was, we first noticed when we went to apply for the documents that we needed to change Adrian's birth certificate. Reasons why, I think we can always do a video later on.
What? I mean, yeah, well, basically there's an error. The short answer is that there was an error in the birth certificate, but there was also errors in your birth certificate. Whose birth certificate?
Yeah, there are also errors in my birth certificate.
And Matthew's, wasn't it? No, Matthew's was okay. Yeah.
So another thing was
yours and Adrian's.
When I went to check my birth certificate, to what is it called? Get a certification.
Yeah, why did you
certificate?
Oh, well, they certified. Yes, because you got to get these documents certified by the Kenyans first. Then, which is, if you like, it's kind of like the local process. Then you go to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Yeah.
And then you get it legalized by them, and then you take it to the Finns, and Finns then legalize it again.
Yeah.
So the certification process, we noticed these. They discovered that was it. Okay, I couldn't remember where they.
Certification is where they realized that my birth certificate, instead of reading the year I was born, it was reading that I was 10 years younger than my parents' age.
On the wrong birthday. So basically, someone had not interpreted, things like
someone had not like done the job properly. So then I had to go through the process of changing my birth certificate. Yeah. And then when we went to apply for Adrian's passport, that's when we realized at the same time Adrian could not travel with his birth certificate could not be processed with the information it had, like the way the names had been written. So we had to change the name on the birth certificate to read just Adrian and Gift. Basically, the reason why is because at that particular time we were just like getting the process going for Adrian's birth documents. We had not accomplished yet, so we had to now change Adrian's birth certificate to just read his 2 names, right?
And then correct yours.
And then correct mine, and then started the application process. So would you take us through the application process?
So that took us about, but then also we had, there's certain things maybe we shouldn't talk about here, but there was another bit of documentation, which was the Finns weren't very clear on what was needed and what wasn't needed for our situation. So for about, I'd say 6 months, we were assuming that we didn't need a particular type of document, and then we ended up later discovered that we did. So we kind of lost lost some time there because of that. But we ended up then applying. It was September the 11th, old days. Yeah, 2018. We finally we're ready to submit the application, although we didn't have all the documents. We didn't actually have all the documents yet because you don't need them when you first submit. You can submit and then they give you 3 months to, I think it was to
2 months processing time for submitting. 2 months waiting as you continue submitting the documents.
Anyway, it's a couple of months. I can't remember now exactly, but a couple of months too. Okay.
Yeah.
2 months then after from the date of submitting to get all your documents in if you need that time, and we did actually. So yeah. So I mean where do we start at? I mean, there were problems on the Finnish side because they were really just not very clear about what was needed. I mean, surprisingly. From the embassy or on their websites. And I suppose at the time I didn't realize I really could, but I should have just contacted the Migri, which is the Finnish immigration ministry here in Helsinki. And that probably would have solved the issue. So I would say if certainly one thing I learned out of that is if you have any trouble with the embassies, like things that look clear, try and get hold of the country's immigration ministry, because later I had to deal with them directly, and they helped quite a bit. So yeah, I mean, I was surprised by the lack of information from the Finnish embassy side.
Let's try and get the comments first of all. And thank you so much for the 40 of you watching this stream. Thank you so much for everyone who's shared the stream with your community, be it on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook, on your WhatsApp. We really, really do appreciate this. So, and also I would just love to request, if you have like an extra gadget, you can help me reach my watch hours by playing this same stream on maybe another gadget, and that way I'm able to
just put it all on. Turn everything on.
That is why my lovely husband is here also to support me, because usually I just do the stream on my own, but I felt like to get just all the facts together and everything, this was so important. Never mind electricity. So we really do appreciate this, and we are really praying Kenya Power does not come in between us right now. So let me try and get some comments. Bakira says hey, and Kiki says hey back. You guys made the right choice. We read that. I think so. Thank you so much. Kiki just saw this on your Insta stories. Kiki, thank you so very much. Really, really, really appreciate this. Kiki again says Finland is way better. Yes, it is. With many aspects, including even raising the children here and the lifestyle as well. Lavenda says, Akinyini, wanna comment section. I love you guys so much because you keep the conversation going. So I really, really appreciate this. Kiki says, thank you for coming. Thank you so much. Girl, you are just one definition of women supporting women. And I really, 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 really appreciate this. It doesn't go unnoticed. Really appreciate it. Celine says, hey, Bakita. Marcel, for you, Nico, ndio tunafika. Ama tuseme we're just arriving. Just say we're just landing right now, because you have a Jamo representing you in the house, so you're just landing. Marcel says is just sharing some happiness. I love it here in Finland, says Lavenda. Oh wow, that's so beautiful to know you're also in Finland. Richie Roger over there says hello. Thank you so much. Thank you, love you. Kiki says Marcel. Let's see, afadhali Finland, Kenya kuna waka jua. I think right now I wish there's a little bit of sun in Finland because it's still snowing, guys. Like, yeah, this weather, and the sun was actually shining. So I'm like, it's kind of giving you the spring kind of vibe. And then you look outside, and then winter is like, I'm still here.
Very British weather.
Yeah. But Nico, but the English is suffocating me. We usually have the same Kenya where we say then suffocating when you talk. Have you heard it? Yeah. Baby is so cute. Thank you so much. Right now, baby is sleeping. Baraki says, Richie in the building. We really, really appreciate you. Bakita anawatajua, I think. So Bakita, if you're in Kenya, maybe unawatajua, but I don't think Bakita ako Kenya. Siko sure. Maybe ameenda Kenya. I'll get there. Chinese Kiki here says, Richie, thanks, Tony. He is also shared the post on IG. Tony, thank you so very much, because the many things that go behind the scenes, and you, all of you who've been doing this, and Tony, really, really, I really appreciate this. So thank you so very much. And yes, Tony, again, asante sana, asante sana. Bakita naita Richie, ebo mtana kwa yote ntia green apple, I think na Bakita. Kekuwan says, asante Tony, the trustee. This is so beautiful. Tony, by they offered to like help me with, you know, just planning this, because it's all like a new setup, and I feel like I needed help, and he's really offered to help me out. So this is so beautiful. I really, really love the support you guys been giving me. It's so beautiful. Richie says, hugs to Bakita. Akisile, what's going on, but here to support. Bakita, we're talking about the process of us moving like from Kenya to Finland, and how it went down for us as a family of 5 coming abroad. Kiki anasema tuna mpaka siku zinakuita Bakira. Okay. Okay. Kiki, you are a good influencer. Aki, the #1, don't lie. I love you, girl. Baraki says, and Kiki, I think Baraki just spoke my heart, because you are just one woman who's always making sure that every other woman shines along the way. So I really appreciate that as well. See usome title ya video. Kuna comedian. Okay, the title is there. Bakira will also see it later. Chinese Kiki, leo una represent Nancy Mwendo Keyboard Warriors. Kiki, thank you so much for coming through. Nancy Mwendo, I think ako njiani. If you have details zake mlete, but I think nilikuwa nimemwona hapa, maybe, yeah, but I think nimemwona hapa somewhere. Tekla Clay says, Richie ulidhani samaki haitaisha. Richie, imagine kweka fish kwa table lunchtime na mimi niko hapa na kuangalia, you know. Chinese Kiki, let's see. Rachel Teno says, Esther, then tell us how to go to Albania, then where's the Kalia information hivi. Bakita, we're coming to Albania, so please give us some information. You got this, Pendo Scott, thank you so very much. Really appreciate this. And then hata mimi nataka kwenda Luka, what is that here?
Leverkusen. Where
is that?
Is it a town in Germany or something?
Shosti peana tips. Acha tungoje Shosti atakuja peana tips. So guys, so what happened after, where are we? You guys can actually feel free.
We submitted the application in September, beginning of September 2018, and yeah, so then we waited basically, and then just after that submitting it, that's when I discovered there was another document we really did need. Remember?
Yeah.
I sent them another email. I just had this nagging feeling.
Yeah.
And I sent the embassy an email and to clarify, and they said, in fact, we needed this. So I was like, oh my goodness, because this was now going to be a major issue. I mean, I don't know if Nelly were able to talk about it. Well, it's kind of the sensitive bit of the whole thing, but yeah, it was one of the major elements. So,
so I think let me just talk about it.
Well, I mean,
I think it's fine. Okay, so what happened is we needed a sole custody to travel, all of us, to Finland, and so I had like to go to court to get the paperwork done and to get the sole custody for Adrian. Reasons why I think I'll also do a video about that, and you guys will be able to watch. So basically, that costs us like around more than 150.
I don't remember exactly.
I think it was more than 150,000, the whole process of applying for a sole custody for Adrian. And so once we got that, then now we're like back on track.
Yeah, but it was quite a, there were so many, I was back in the UK and I had to get some of my own paperwork changed.
And at that time I was also pregnant.
It was crazy. I mean, we were literally, just the Kenyan court, the Kenyan court timelines were very difficult. So it, I mean, we managed to pull it off, but it was literally by, as you might say, by the skin of our teeth. So it was like that, meaning it was that tight. There were multiple times the whole thing could have gone awry, which would have delayed us for, I think, another 6 months, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Something like that. So, yeah. I mean, and if you keep, I mean, imagine you keep, I always do this now in my head. I always keep going over it and factoring in these potential delays. Mm-hmm. The ones that, I mean, we suffered 6 months roughly already, but then had we had more, and then things like the coronavirus comes, right? I mean, that was always in the back of my mind. But we need to make this international move.
But then Corona had not happened.
Well, no, but I mean, me, because I'm an aid worker, so I always think in disaster terms, some international calamity. So I mean, we had Ebola. Remember? I mean, that was fun, right?
Yeah.
That was a bit of a shocker too. It caused a few reverberations around the world. Some guy ended up in Texas with it. Anyway, so. Yeah, I mean, that was always in the back of my mind, that this whole thing could have not worked out.
Bakita, thank you so much. I actually did this hair yesterday on the live video that I shared with you guys yesterday, where I showed you the whole cocktail behind making this mane look this sleek. So you guys watch it if you missed it, because the information I shared there is everything basically that I do to my hair, especially if you're experiencing like any damages or anything like that. Kowalindo in the building, Karibu Sana. He says hello. Kanyiri Vlogs, hey darling. Kowalindo says, Tony, thanks doc, thanks. I love this, the way they come like thanks doc, thanks doc, thanks doc. So amazing. Yeah, so another.
So basically, then once we got that, what happened? Things were, well, we were okay, except then the finish on the, which is inexplicable, bizarre to me, because Finns are sort of usually known for being efficient and not liking ambiguity and just a sloppy job. But the Finnish embassy was making a sloppy job of it. So we had to deal with a number of one or two wacky situations with them after that. So, and that's when I started talking directly to the ministry here in Helsinki. And I actually made an official complaint against them. I was so utterly that February 2019, I then moved to Finland from UK. I thought it might, I said this instinct, it might be beneficial for the process. Mm-hmm. And in the process, I lost my job. So it was quite in the UK, so it was quite a hair-raising situation, because I had to get completely re-registered in Finland, all my access to government services and unemployment benefits and so on.
Yeah.
And so I spent over those 2 months sorting out these errors with the ministry, and and then by the end of April, I'd gotten a job in Iraq, because I wasn't finding anything in Finland at the time. So I went off to Iraq, and then just as I was leaving for Iraq, they actually, beginning of April, we heard that they had approved the residence permits.
Yeah. So basically, before I think we continued.
So it took over. In the end, it took us over a year. It was like a year
and some months.
Sort of 4 months, with all the kind of hiccups and from both the Kenyan and the Finnish side.
Yeah, I think before we proceed.
And then they traveled in. You got here in June.
Yeah.
June 2019. So. And then 6 months later, we had coronavirus. Yippee! So I mean, you see, it's not that 6 months here and there. But no, you see what I mean? 6 months here and there, you could be in trouble.
Yeah, but before we continue, I think I wanted to point out the fact that child custody, especially when you're willing to travel and you have a mixed family, I think it's really, really important that you start first of all with child custody, because that is where you can face a lot of delay. especially like how it was seen in our process. We got a good lawyer who was willing to like speed up the process.
Yes, I mean that was quite critical. I mean, we're lucky on that regard because you can end up in.
And she was really like straightforward. She told us what we needed.
She was surprisingly straightforward.
She told us her fees, and she said, as long as you pay my fee on time and everything is done, then I'm able to do the case. And I think it also went in line with having good court dates in the courts.
Well, she was rushing to meet. That's what I meant about the crazy timelines. It was going to like shut for winter or something. Like,
they're going to close for I think December holidays, where like not forever. Many lawyers.
Like they're all in Malaysia.
This is not Kenyan timing. Can you love me?
I couldn't believe it. I mean, I was like, oh my.
love my representation right now. So basically, what happened is it was just getting to December,
it was hair raising,
where like many lawyers are going for holidays, and then I was also really planning due because I was due to giving back November. And at that time, we still had not had our papers. So it meant I was like really pregnant and still going through these cases it was a mess, guys. It was just not so easy. And imagine all this time I'm having like pregnancy problems at the same time. So it wasn't so easy.
Yeah, and then they also gave us the estimated timeline for processing the residence permits was 6 to 9 months. And so it went down to, it was 6 months. They finished at 6 months actually, which was not bad given because it also had a sudden influx of Somali asylum applications to deal with at the Finnish embassy in Nairobi, which also so there were a lot of factors, external and throwing spanners into the works.
Okay. So
the final thing, of course, was getting the passports. I mean, they're kind of hanky-panky at the Kenyan passport office. I won't mention.
I love you so much. But you know what we say? I love you.
Yeah, that was the final drama. Was they getting the last? We had a couple of Kenyan passports already, but they get the last. Oh, it's for Daniel. Yeah. So that was just,
this is the bad thing when you have someone who knows the ins and the outs. But I think the main thing about this video was to share, like, basically
it was really close because we had to estimate like, because I had to line all this up, moving them over with one of my R&R dates, one of my like leave dates, periods.
Yeah.
So I'd already bought the ticket. We estimated, okay, will we or won't we have the passport by this date? And so we thought, well, surely yes. And so we went ahead and bought the tickets because obviously, you've got to try and find the cheapest tickets and so on. And that matched my date. So it was getting closer and closer to the leaving date and the passport hadn't turned up. But it finally did in the end. But it was really, that was the final drama. And then we left.
So so someone is saying, official Koko is saying, Nelly, I think I will join you when you be talking about child custody and give some tips because I paid none. I think that's really a good thing we need to talk about because, again, I say for our side, there was no like contestant on the case. It was just me applying for the custody, and it was more complicated, which I think we can always discuss later on. But that is the fee that we ended up paying to the lawyer at that time. And I think at the same time, sometimes when you're crushed for time, you just gotta do what you have to do, and that works for us. But I really love to know like how you guys who have moved abroad have really like made it through. Ningekutumia ule abuji wa jana live akuharas. Wow, huyu anatumanishwa nani? I hope alipata come to. Yesterday there was some live video going on, and then there were another Abuja Nigeria came along, and they were saying how the property rate in Nigeria was so good.
Property rate.
You won't understand. It's okay. 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 Hey Chinwe, how are you doing, girl? Chinwe is in the building. Kanyiri Vlogs, how are you doing? Thank you so much, everyone who has shared this stream. I really, really, really appreciate you guys so very much. Kanyiri Vlog says, I need to visit soon. Chinwe, I'm also coming along. Nilihama mapenzi reloaded hapa shikilia vizuri. I think hapa ni shikilia vizuri, right?
Whatever you say.
Whatever I say.
Mm.
Okay. Uko na pesa?
Which person?
Okay. Leteni maswali. Comment section nawapenda sana. So guys, after we got the child custody, we got the documents ready. Of course, Daniel's passport also took a long time because we had to go like through another process of applying, speeding up his process basically as well. And the best thing I love about my country.
Well, I mean, that's a good point though, because you could really get in a mess there.
Yeah.
I mean, they say on the website, the Kenyan passport office website, that it'll take
2 to 3 weeks.
2 to 3 weeks, which is lightning speed compared to, say, UK or something. I think normally.
Technically, it takes 2 to 3 weeks. Just
yeah,
in our own state.
and then nothing, but then nothing happened. I mean, they don't. It was slightly different from that timeline. So yeah, it was a bit hair raising. So I mean, I would say get your Kenyan passports well in advance. Like you even have the vague thought you might go somewhere.
Yeah.
In the next 10 years, get the passport now. Just
I think basically just
you could easily be in a very
is,
nasty situation where you've got tickets and then all of a sudden,
I think the general
blowing smoke on you in Nairobi. So,
yeah, I think the general thing
that's
is
another
that
lesson, absolutely.
If you ever are looking forward to traveling, I think the best and the first step to do is to make sure that you have your ticket ready. Your passport. Please do not book your ticket before you get your passport, because it's really what is going to save your whole process.
Well, it's just so uncertain.
Time and money.
It's totally uncertain. So the timeline for them. So I mean, they can pull any kind of rabbit out of the hat or no rabbits at all. So yeah.
Are you relocating to Finland from Kenya or to Kenya from Finland? We were relocating from Kenya to Finland, not the other way around. We were coming from Kenya with the kids and settling in Finland. So you guys can feel free to write in your comments. And as you write in your comments, I'll also read them and we'll try and answer every question that we're able to have. So
who's that?
I just want to copy this and paste it.
You just copied part of it.
Yeah, so if you want to travel, I think the most important thing is that you make sure that you first have your passports before you're able to come through to Finland. So
or anywhere.
Now after the application of the documents, then came the process where we also noticed that actually, if you're really looking forward to coming to Finland, I think I'll generally say things are really good. Especially, I love the democracy, like the rights of the people by the people. Like they follow rules. They don't have any corruption deals or anything behind the scenes that you can always do to process any document.
Oh,
and I think that applies to all countries abroad in Europe, basically.
Yeah.
So whatever time they have given on their website is the process that is the time that will always take. But the problem we went through was the fact that there were some documents that they needed, but they had not told us, or the stipulations were not mentioned in the application.
Yeah, they didn't provide any kind of just a sheet of paper or a PDF that says, okay, in this situation, this is what you need.
I feel like they just gave a general breakdown of the documents you need, which was meant for everyone else. And so different cases are not very well catered for, which is why I felt like doing this live was really good at the same time.
Yeah, so you really need
when we started the application, we noticed we were coming as a family of 5. The kids were born in Kenya, not in Finland. Of course, we had to go through the process of getting them the Kela number, the birth notification number.
Yeah, I mean,
which was really easy. Their ID numbers. That was so easy. And then after that,
it took a little bit of time. It didn't come
but it
instantaneously.
was like a straightforward thing. We only
Yes,
provided
just
the documents and
yeah,
that was it.
you provide the documents. And that's
Yeah.
it. But,
So aside from that, now when it comes to now the breakdown and information, like in this case you need this, in this case you need this, they did not tell us anything about that. So we learned that along the way, where you are waiting, it's taking longer than you expected, and then when you call, you're told actually this document is missing, or this document we can't find. So that is why I usually encourage people, like if you have applied for your visa, always check in with the embassy that you have provided all the documents that they need. And before you apply for the visa, always like go for a pre-visa application meeting with the consulate. You can always, is it consul?
The consul, I mean, the people who, I can't remember
Or people in that
position, those people who
office.
deal with the immigration.
Yeah. And they can
situation.
always like, you can always
Matters.
explain to them. It's actually free. You can just, you call the embassy, you tell them your case, you call the embassy and you tell them you want to have an appointment, and then you can always like come in and have a discussion about everything that you're going to need during your visa application. And you can always like in detail explain to them your family structure, what you're looking forward to doing and stuff, and they can always advise you on how to apply, because at first we wanted to apply for a tourist visa to come to Finland.
No, tourist.
We were thinking so, because we wanted like the fastest way to come instead of waiting the whole
we
time.
looked at, you mean,
so we looked into different options, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then they said that if you apply for like a tourist visa to come abroad,
and they suspect that your real intention is
to stay, because you have a family.
We already told them that we wanted to move, so obviously it's.
So they're like, no, can't do that.
They won't give you the tourist visa, and yeah, they don't. You have to. I mean, if you're already in Finland under a different visa situation, like you're a student or you're, an employee in a company, and then you would already have some kind of residence permit, but you would have to change it then to, like if you were getting married, say, to a Finn, then you'd have to change it to a family ties, they call it.
Okay.
In the English translation, a residence permit based on family ties.
Okay.
Which is, you're going to become somebody's spouse, basically. But then you can apply for it when you're in Finland, but not.
But if you're coming from Kenya,
if everyone is outside the country, then you have to apply for it out. You can't do a tourist visa and then come in and then do it.
Yeah. So if they know that your reason for applying for the visa is finally to get to stay in that country, they're not going to give you the visa. So you better like make sure that your facts, if you're ever willing to stay, just make sure you know how you're going to like maneuver through the whole process, because it's not so easy. So for us, I think, and with Finland at the same time, I would say marriage is the best and easiest way. Someone is asking, language gani mnaongea Finland? Language gani tunaongea Finland?
What's that?
Which language do you speak in Finland?
Oh, Finnish and
Swedish.
But Swedish is also an official language.
Yeah.
And there is actually a lot that gets translated, even in official channels, into English. So you might say English is almost like the third official, unofficial language, or official language.
Yeah.
So but yeah, it's Finnish and Swedish, because Finland used to be a part of Sweden.
Yeah.
About 200 years ago.
Tini says, lovely couple. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. Thank you guys for the love so far. For everyone who has shared this stream, I really, really appreciate you guys. The comment on the keyboard is so amazing. So you guys are the OG. I love you so very much. If you want to join the stream, please do so, and come through. Let's have a chat, and we can always like talk about everything. And Chinwe is saying, if you want to connect with her, you can always visit her channel as well. Bakita says Chinwe will do a house tour for us. Yes. And then Kiki is laughing. Kanyeri Vlog says we will all come there ASAP. So that's funny. And then Chinwe says, Bakita, that's so funny. Mean my channel, lol. Okay. Chinwe is meaning like if you are a YouTuber, you can always like connect together. Richie Roger, Chinwe, is there a visa needed to come to your house? Okay, Chinwe, answer Richie Roger first there. First of all, your skin is glowing, girl. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so very much. Did you get kids Finnish passport before traveling? Mine was really easy. My daughter got a Finnish passport.
Yeah, I mean, everybody could get one, got one, basically.
Yeah, everyone got their Finnish passport.
But we still had to get Kenyan passports to get out. That's the thing. Because they even asked us when we left. I mean, I anticipated that. I said, oh God, if we only get a Finnish passport for the children then, and not a Kenyan one, if immigration officials around the world, many of them are universally cranky. So if you meet one of those super duper cranky ones, but no, I mean
it's true. I think that's really true. They need to take like some nice people.
No, I mean there's some incredibly bureaucratic. They follow, some of them just by the book and don't care. And whether or not it's down to crankiness or not, I had a feeling that it could be some kind of regulation that they would have to have a proof of Kenyan identity, because otherwise they would technically be assumed to be in the country illegally, because there wouldn't be a visa of any kind in their passport, in their Finnish passport, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think we didn't have time to try and, I mean, it was too complicated to try and find out what the real rules were, so we just assumed it would be necessary. And sure enough, when we got to the immigration desk after getting our boarding passes and at JKIA,
mm-hmm.
the immigration, we put the Finnish passports on the desk first, and then they said, I suppose there is a Kenyan passport. And so yes, they asked for the Kenyan passports. So don't assume that you don't need that.
And I think as well, if you want to
also
travel,
just because they're going out, I mean, yeah.
I think being a Kenyan mom, and I think this I would say because I believe so, I would not love to go to another country or maybe come to my husband's country and not have my children having their home, because for me, like, they were born in Kenya, so I never wanted them to come here and then get me applying for the whole the passport process in another country, because in Finland there's no Kenyan embassy, right?
Yes, it's close to Sweden.
It's close to Sweden. So I felt like that was going to be a hard process, and I wanted my kids to leave Kenya as Kenyans, not with the Finnish passport. So I think for me that was like the most important part, aside from the fact that we needed the passport anyway.
To get out, for them to get out.
Kiki says, I love this couple, so calm. Thank you so very much. Richie, yes, but don't suffocate us with English, okay? Do you know Swahili?
No, that's a bit of a problem.
but you can count. Can you count money in Swahili?
No.
I think the better. Okay, Meraki says no visa yet. Says freely. You move, share the love, and grow together. Okay, that is if you want to go to Chinwe's house, no visas needed at all. Nancy Mwendo in the building. Girl, someone was asking about you. I'm glad to see you here. So Nancy says, ona mzungu anakaa chini anaeleza. Then there is our Kenyan man with the remote watching football. Unaambiwa usinieke social media. I wanted to ask you something. This is like out of the topic. Do you feel like women should hide their husbands? Like, is there something like husband snatching?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if,
and aside from the fact that maybe some people don't want like their husbands to be seen by other, some men or families like to stay private, but which that is understandable. But do you think like if someone says like, oh, I'm just going to keep him MIA and then just show myself, and you have like a family, aside from privacy, do you believe there's something like snatching, basically?
What, somebody asking?
Like someone, okay, for example, you hide me from your social media because you are afraid someone will take your wife.
Well, I mean, it's all a bit context specific, isn't it? Because I mean,
the husband must be willing to be taken.
Well, yes. Okay. I mean, it's a bit like it's sort of a chicken or egg argument. Like, you know, which comes first? Is it the snatching or the risk of the dodgy husband? I don't know.
Richie says, Abuju hapa amemeza dictionary tayari. You have digested the dictionary very well. It's so tasty. And then Richie ataingia na Mlami Kizungu. Okay, Richie's English. We usually listen to Richie when he airs. It's so beautiful. Very important information. Thank you so much for sharing this. Thank you so much, Bakita. We really, really appreciate this. I think so far I've read like all the comments. So we had our passports ready and then now planning to come to Finland.
So the next thing was, I looked into, so I mean, should we go literally everything? So
yeah, I think it's
I was curious how much would it cost to like move all of our personal items from Nairobi to Helsinki, to Finland. And so I contacted some Kenyan international removal firms, and they came back with a shocking price of for a 20-foot container, shipping container. It was, what was it, $6,000?
Is that way?
And we had virtually not. I mean, we didn't have a lot of stuff, right?
Students?
And it wasn't worth $6,000.
Someone is asking your burning patient.
That's a very
I'll paint it there. Sasa nywele inanuka fenugreek ama fishery water. What does my hair smell like?
I don't know, some kind of spicy stuff. I don't know.
Seriously?
What's up? Something.
Is it smelling like battery or like fenugreek?
I don't know what fenugreek smells like.
Okay.
But I mean, it smells nice.
It smells nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
Yes, it was $6,000 for a 20-foot shipping container. So I said, I think our stuff wasn't that priceless. So we had already. We literally took everything we could pack. We just used our.
We had a home.
It was fortunate that the children had obviously their own luggage allowance for the flight. We had something like 7. I think Daniel was allowed like 1 suitcase or something strange. But anyway.
Yeah.
But basically, so we had about 7 suitcases.
You did
8, 9. How much was it? It was 2.
I think for us,
it was 9. Because it was 2 each, so 5 of us. But Daniel didn't have 2, so it was about 9 suitcases.
Okay.
So we just maxed it out that way, and the rest of the stuff just had to stay. So unless you are either rather wealthy or have some priceless items that you can't, personal significance that you can't part with, I'd say just leave the stuff behind, because I take what's absolutely necessary, because it's incredibly expensive. Yeah. I didn't check DHL. I was thinking just to maybe send a bed or something by DHL, but I never got the chance. So I don't know if that was even vaguely effective, but I would guess.
I think
like for a smaller item, like maybe you had 1 piece of furniture.
Yeah.
Check DHL or somebody. It might be, as compared to $6,000. I mean, it still might be relatively expensive, but if you must take it, then that might be an option. So
I think what I would advise mostly for anyone who's willing to travel is that sometimes the things you have bought in your home, for example, in Kenya, you can always either sell them out to people, sell them get people to book them early in advance, which we did not do, definitely. And then you're able to get cash off expensive things that you have bought, of course, for your home in Kenya. And then when you move abroad, you're able to have some finances to start off. But in our case, I think we did not sell everything. We packed everything and just loaded my mom, and everything went home, because we were just race against time. We didn't have time to sell. And when we were willing to sell, some things that we got offers on, the amount of money people were willing to pay was a throwaway, So we just decided if we sent them to my home in Nyakach, it makes more sense than selling them. But if you are not having a family member you want to leave your things with, then I think the best thing is to put them out on different websites, secondhand websites and stuff, because even if they're new, you're always going to sell them back again as secondhand. And then you can always get some money, and once you're abroad, you can always use that money to start your life abroad. So that is one of the things that we did, because we sent our things to the village, carried everything we could carry here, and the rest went to the lorry. Basically, what we carried here was majorly the baby bed, which my son Daniel was like so attached to. So that came to Finland, but the rest, and his high chair. So the rest was we left everything to go. Another thing is there are actually people who you have like good friendship network around you, and you can always like tell your friends if you're willing like to sell, maybe let's say your TV or your couch or something, and maybe your friend wants to buy like a second-hand couch, or they want to buy a couch and they don't know where. I think you can always like give them the deal of coming to buy your couch, so then you have some money. For us, I think the reason why I'm talking about this is because I'm always looking at, as a parent, you always need to save as much as you can, basically. You never know what's going to happen or what you're going to meet where you're going to. So if you're able to sell something to spend, to keep that money and save it in your bank, then it's always good. If you're coming abroad as a family or something, I think it's also important that you have some money in your bank account to just start off life, which is basic necessity.
Setup costs.
Yeah.
And quite a few items.
During our visa application, did you give your bank statements? Because I didn't give mine.
No, I mean, I was thinking for the
if
because
you
it was,
are a resident,
yeah, because it was a Finnish person getting married, they didn't ask. They don't ask for anybody's bank statements.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to provide a source of income. Sorry, that is to say.
Yeah.
Which is not, obviously not the case if you're coming for other reasons.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I think if you are a Finnish family applying for your family to come to Finland, you don't have to give the bank statements. But if you are coming to Finland as an individual, you of course have to show your bank statements when you're going to come. Your hotel booking is needed because
probably, yeah. I mean, it depends. I mean, if you're,
I don't know
if say if you get a job in Finland, you have to show a bank statement, then because obviously then you have a job,
yeah,
so you're going to have money. So I don't know in every case, but
okay.
I think if you're a student, for example, or possibly a tourist, I'm not sure. But
another thing is okay, I lost my line of thoughts. My question, that was my question to Esther. Maybe the name was in the birth certificate. Let me go back. We trust you. We know you'll carry continent high. Yeah. I hope you. I am representing all of you. Guys, keep us rolling. We'll see you all next time. Safe journey from farm to Helsinki. Thank you so very much. I'll be in Tampere in September. Wow, that is so beautiful to know. Welcome to basically Finland. You're going to enjoy the life here. And September is a good time because it's not cold, right?
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah,
it's not too bad. So it's not bad.
If you want to travel in Finland, I think summer, if you love cold, winter is the best time, but your skin needs to adjust. Summer is the best time to come to Finland. Bakita, we trust you will. You carry our continent high. Yes, Bakita always represents. Uzoma says, bye guys. Thank you so much for joining our stream today. I really, really, really appreciate you guys so very much. So make me and my husband a big fufu. We are coming over. Yeah.
I had a funny conversation with them.
What is your best Nigerian meal?
About fufu.
Uzo is from Nigeria. What's your
when
best?
We were in South Sudan. I was just someone was trying to think of some recipe, some food. What was it? We were in South Sudan, and there was the other in the middle of nowhere in this humanitarian basin. This is not going to be funny because I don't remember the whole story.
Lilian Moweru, I didn't get the question. Can you type it again so I'm able to see, because the comments are like running so fast. So if you can type it one more time, I'll be able to read it for again and try and answer. And then Bakita is not laughing at Nancy. Abujubuju angalia dem ananywele safi. Okay. Dem ananywele safi. Yeah.
Exactly.
Tine cook big fufu, we are coming. yes, Chine, we are coming. And then Nelly, did you sit for an interview? Yes, we had an interview after the interview by the embassy.
You had two, did you? Yes.
We had two.
Well, no, not interview, but one was just you have to bring the documents that you submitted in the application. You know, the soft copies, and you have to bring the real ones to them to check that they're actually real, and then they have to. And you only bring them, of course, once you've had them first certified and legalized by the Kenyans.
Yeah.
And then, because then the Finns will legalize it again.
Yeah. So basically, before we forget
in their records, yeah.
The application process we did was online. We didn't do like a paper submission.
Yeah, it's faster.
And then it's faster that way. Also, if you do a paper one, it takes time because they have to go like through every document.
Well, even saying that, I think it takes, was it like an extra couple of months? I don't remember.
Yeah. So I would advise just look for someone who is able to help you do the paperwork, and then let them help you apply. But I think it's really it's very simple questions you can always get. And if you're coming to Finland, you can always reach out anytime, as many of you have always been doing so, and I can always help where I can, because some of these are questions you meet along the way as you do your application. That said, after applying for your basically visa, you have to go in physically.
Well, yes, and after the document submission, then they have this interview.
Yeah, so you have to go physically with the documents you had given, so that they counter check that information you had given them is correct to what you have. And then after that, there's now the other interview where you have to basically now go with everyone, and then they get to see you guys. You ask questions as to why you're traveling, where you're going to live. So it's also important to know where you are going to live when you're going to Finland. And if you have family members, know what cities they live in, because Finland is very big. Don't just generalize and say like my family lives in Finland. So give
the more information, the better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Bunny Boo. Uncle Kaiki Huba. Tule rakas. Tule. Hey.
So.
Hey. Oh.
And then what then?
So it was fun from Esther Ogero. Says Verakis. Says Pulse. Verakis says Pulse Ginger. Thank you. Nancy Mwendo says, Bakira, God for us all, man for himself, no sharing. That is the best so far. There's a comment here. Nancy, how many times did I call you? Kufichwa kama kamisi. What? Okay. Sijui mko mnaongelea nini huko. They speak mainly Finnish and Swedish. Yes, that's true. And thank you so much for the Finns in the house, or Kenyan women living in Finland in the house at the moment. We really welcome you here. Feel at home, and feel free to also come through with any comments that can help anyone in the comment section. We really appreciate that. Hapo kwa bank statement mi sioni nikishare na mtu. I think it depends. In Finland we have equality. So hey.
What about joint accounts?
Bank statements, like if you have to move abroad, do you have to both show your bank statements
to
the country? Let's say I'm by myself, not married to you.
Oh, well, if you're coming for some other purpose, it can be the case, but I mean, I don't know the specific.
If I'm coming to just visit my boyfriend, what do I do? Like if I'm going to visit
you have to. I mean, I don't, because every country is a little bit different. They may want to get, like the British, I think, want a guarantee from somebody, possibly. Why they no? British, either you show you have the money, and or someone else is going to fund you have to demonstrate how you're going to fund your time in the country. And I think it's similar in Finland. So
just a minute before this goes
but I'm not absolutely certain.
Well, where it says copy on this adoption part, if the father has never been there for the child, you are still going to file for sole custody if you haven't been raising the kid alone. Yeah, that's true. And also, if you are leaving your country, you have to, as a single mom or as a single woman with a child, you have to sign for custody because maybe let's say those the two names, the father and the mother in the birth certificate, you have to the partner remaining or the other partner in the certificate who is not traveling has to give you a permission, yeah, to travel with the child abroad. And if consent, yeah. So, but if you are, let's say, a single mom, because they don't know if there's any man in the picture, you still have to apply for sole custody. So in my case, we were living together, but we still needed the custody. I think I'll do another elaborative video about all of this when the right time comes. Yeah, I think that's the best thing. And then Bakita, God for us all. That I think I read that. And then Rachel says that's hilarious. Chinese Kiki says nilikuwa gumzo aki na Nancy akiwa anajua vile kunashika. Oh wow, you guys are so amazing. Nimepitwa. Karibu sana Bina Aisha. Hujakitwa sana. We really appreciate it. And then what are the questions asked in the interview, please? There's nothing much there that you haven't answered when you're applying for your residence permit, basically. But questions like what are the reasons why you are moving abroad, for example, was one of the questions we were asked. And for our purpose, you always have to make it clear, like, why are you moving? So for us, for example, we said we're moving to Finland because we wanted to have a family life in Finland, basically raise our children here in Finland, right? Mm-hmm. And then another question that was asked was, where was I going to stay when I come to Finland with the kids, which I was going to stay with my husband. And another question was, do we intend to live together or in the same household as a family or live separately? I think if you put like separately, it raises questions on the merit of your marriage.
Well, yes, I mean, they have these kind of,
also,
you might say, stock questions. So
yeah,
some of them obviously seem a bit strange to ask. Like, I don't know why they would say, are you going to live separately? But but they do. I don't know what exactly the purpose of that is. If they, I mean, I can't think of a good reason why someone would be coming and then living separately, except like in Finland.
Except so no, but you never know. There are marriages that are arranged, yes, you know, I mean, so you can always come.
Yeah, but
should it? A girl gotta do what a girl gotta do. Okay.
No, but live
if
separately.
I want to, if I have the only option I have left, maybe, I don't know, is maybe to move, and I have someone who's willing to, like, I don't know if that would work though.
But it doesn't make sense because the immigration people are looking for those kind of.
But you're always going to be
irregularities, if you like. So, someone, if they were committing a fraud, I would imagine they wouldn't plan it that way. But anyway, so yeah, they just it's just a kind of a rehash.
It's more or less like
of some other questions that you may have already answered, I think, in the application, maybe with the addition of some others. But then they also asked us, I think, the children, like, are you with Adrian, because he was like, I think math. They couldn't ask math.
Yeah. But basically, they asked them, like, do you want to go to Finland?
Do you want to go to Finland?
Or do you want to stay in Kenya?
Yeah.
Is it your choice to go to Finland, or are you forced to go to Finland?
Yeah.
Those just like toying with people's minds, basically, when they're asking.
Well, that's what they see it as, child protection and all that and so on. So, yeah.
So let's take a short break again. Guys, if you are still in this stream, we really appreciate the 30 of you. Thank you so very much. The keyboard warriors, I love you guys so very much, and thank you for the support. If you have a community like Facebook, WhatsApp, YouTube, please feel free to kindly share this stream with your community, because one, you never know the information that someone is looking for, and two, also to help me achieve 4,000 watch hours that I'm looking to achieving. And so far, thank you so much for your support as well. Did you apply for full custody for your son in order to be able to travel with him, or how did you go about it? I applied for sole custody for my son, so it meant I was the only person responsible for him. And then we, of course, adoption comes later. Kiki Narudi Pia, I've read that one. How does a joint account work? Because they have all energy for sharing numbers. Hey,
What, bank account?
yeah, like having a joint, like managing, bringing funds together. I think it depends on both of your minds,
what
of
do you
course.
Mean? Oh, you mean actually?
Like, for example, we as a family, we have one account that we have two accounts,
two accounts,
of course,
yeah.
But we
kind of use it like one account.
Yeah, basically. Like one account, yeah. I think it has to go down to what your goals are. This is really hard to explain, I think. For example, necessities, like there's our home budget. There is the things that I need and my allowance and stuff. And then do you have boy child? So there is my allowance. Boy child will always like they manage. So there is my allowance, and then of course now how you budget around your kids and everything else also is different altogether. So I think unless we sit down and give you guys like details one day of how we run like finances successfully as a family, then that would be also something else we're willing to do. But yeah, so feel free to also let me know if you want that one. Some of us having a long way to go. We are still single, which I am praying for that. That ring. So praying for it. The one for better for worse. I'm really praying for that. Been a 100 ways of dying. Don't try. Yeah, actually, having a joint account will also be the 1,000 ways of dying, because you might have spouses who don't basically agree with your needs, But
I mean, it ends up this. I mean, unless I don't know, it just depends.
I think it's personal preference.
But it also depends on the income level. I mean, if both spouses are like have a significant income, then it's like to a certain extent it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Except if somebody starts getting resentment because they're paying for major things like housing or transport. Or
something. And I think for us, what creates a balance.
I mean, you have to have a common understanding as to what the situation is.
Yeah.
And so
I think for us, what creates a balance at the same time is by the time we were starting our relationship, I was working. And then at some point I stopped working. So I was stay-at-home mom, he was working. So you can see like we have gone through time of trying to figure out how to manage finances or our relationship. And I think for me at the same time, I have like my own things that I need to accomplish on the other side where like, different from him. So those are also like put into account, and then we see like, okay, how much are we having now after all of that? There's also there, Zigo Mazera says, Benedata, according to my experience, yes, it's better to apply for a full custody of your child. Will make the process easy for you, and you won't go through any difficulties even later. I think that's important. But guys, I think as we say this, if you know you are traveling to a different country, and you have someone who's responsible for your offspring on this earth, it's always very important that you include them in raising up the child, because at the end of the day, they are part of that child. But if they aren't, then I think go for your own sole responsibility, right?
Yes, I mean, if it's better, I think.
Yeah.
It depends on the situation.
And also, depending on the situation, like don't have like your child knowing a toxic person just because they seared the egg or something. Like then you're not a clever mom. So, but depending on the situation, if you feel like it's better for them, of course, as women, we do know what's better for our children. So if you feel like it's better for them and you're not selfish, like in a bad way, and you're just selfish in a good way, then I think it's a good thing to do. So 32 people, 32 amazing people in the building. I really, really appreciate you guys so very much. Celine says Nancy Walai when ni comedian. I think Nancy is a comedian. Nancy, I think hii ni ya wenyewe wenye wameomoka kimapenzi. I think it does work. Like if you have like established like a sense of stability, I think in your relationship.
Yeah.
Haki kuna kuangana live mbili kwa comments, but na host. Yeah, kuna live mbili, moja iko hapa kwa comments na ingine ni sisi hapa hivi. So I'm trying also to catch up with you guys. And then Bakita, someone is laughing at you. Bakita is always so amazing on the comments. I really, really enjoy reading all of these. Guys, naenda kukanda unga huko Albania, tunakulanga mapema. Okay. Kuna private chat hapa. Guys, host may disappear. I'm really sorry. Sorry about that. Some technical issues. So we are back like we never left. Wacha Bakita Bakita wacha walale nja. Bakita wanaweza kuja dinner kwangu nishapika. And then wanaweza kuja wakule huku. So karibuni dinner, tumewakaribisha. Such amazing people. Thank you for everyone who's sharing this stream. I really, really appreciate you guys. Let me just try and check through. So you can take the comments for me and read, and then I'll see like what we have on my. We'll see what I have on my thing. Can you try? Okay. You guys can ask any questions. We are here to answer all of them. Or we can continue with the process from where we were.
Well,
after flying.
We're just talking about the flights.
Yeah. The flying part, I think, was the easiest, I would say.
I mean, yeah, it was pretty. I mean, from Nairobi, it's fairly straightforward because Nairobi is sort of well connected.
Yeah.
So we took Turkish Airlines to via. They fly through Istanbul, so we had to change flights in Istanbul, and it was Istanbul to Helsinki direct.
Yeah.
And it's literally like more or less a straight line, almost. So it's north south. So which leg is the shorter one? I think it's Istanbul Helsinki. But anyway, yeah, and Istanbul Airport is really, they have a new airport there now. So it's quite a nice airport. Yeah, it was straightforward.
Nancy Winter says, never dare us to come and eat when we are close. Sisi had to do jokes to honor with our nephews and nieces. Nancy, Kudza, carry your whole tribe and come. We are inviting you for dinner today. Someone is asking a very nice question. How do you balance careers, family with children as well?
Oh, well, that was one of the biggest.
That was
one of the biggest issues. I mean, it was as I was saying earlier in the broadcast, the reason we decided to move somewhere else, unfortunately, and ended up in Finland, was that because of my citizenship here, was that the balance was beginning to go completely out.
Yeah.
Of the family situation vis-a-vis work. So as I said, I'd been there 3 years straight at one point in more or less Nairobi, but with work in Somalia.
Yeah.
So and then, but after that, it became increasingly more erratic because part of it because of the nature of these humanitarian aid work. It's very unpredictable because of all kinds of funding and other other kinds of problems that are peculiar to humanitarian aid work.
Yeah.
So that second contract I got in South Sudan, it was supposed after Somalia, it was supposed to be for 18 months, but then ended up being only 9 months, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So then I had to scramble to find. It was quite last minute too when we all got the word. I mean, the whole team more or less had to go, and so soon after that incident, I was thinking we have to look at now really stability, come what may. So if even it meant sort of sacrificing my career in
Mm-hmm.
humanitarian aid work,
Mm-hmm.
so that's when we started the process for Finland, but of course in the meantime I had to keep working, to finance the process. So I was in another 2 different jobs up until the point that they finally came over.
Yeah.
So the point was to get them over here, and then now I'm here basically. I'm not in the field anymore.
I think what I would say is
this because the problem was when you have the family in a place like Kenya, and then you also, I mean, it was that too, that when the jobs
and you're not happy to them yet.
Well, I mean, there's that problem, but that's sort of not even the main issue. The main issue is when you have breaks in the work unpredictably, and you're looking for a new job in the meantime. Then there are no social safety nets really in Kenya. So health, education, and so on.
Yeah.
So it becomes very very expensive and very precarious. So and I mean, that's in addition to the fact that I ended up, because I had to keep changing jobs, I was ending up spending more and more time away from home. So the 2 things together, it hit me very quickly that this is just not a sustainable situation.
Yeah.
I mean, it's quite expensive also.
Mm-hmm.
So because the aid work, I mean, contrary to I've heard some people's ideas, the aid work is not that well paid, for example. So it's relatively few NGOs, international NGOs, that pay reasonably well.
Yeah.
And I mean, the real money is in the UN, and those jobs are not so numerous. So yeah, it just puts you in a very precarious situation. So I knew, obviously, with a family, it's different. If I was on my own, I could go and crash on my mother's couch and the situation goes bad. You just
but for a big man, I think you know.
I mean, what I'm getting at.
No,
but I mean, what I'm saying is that's the reality of the aid business. I mean, a lot of the aid workers I knew were single.
Yeah.
They could,
they can
crash
really go
anywhere.
Crash anywhere.
Back to their home countries. It doesn't matter really.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't care. But when you have a family, it's totally different scenario. So
yeah.
As I saw that increasing the instability.
Yeah.
I just thought, this can't go on any longer. So we had to make a concrete plan to put it to an end, because in the end it was the children's welfare that was a critical thing. So
and our relationship at the same time.
Yes, I mean, welfare vis-a-vis, I mean, also me being there.
Yeah.
So that's why we are where we are now.
I think what I would say generally is if you guys have watched some of the videos, which I'll always still remind you to go and watch. But before we go into that, guys, like Tony has said here, please remember to check out my playlist and please watch it, share it with your community. I do vlogs about hair, lifestyle, motherhood, living here in Finland, and everything, all that good stuff that it's shareable. I do share with you guys. So I really, really appreciate that so very much. And Nancy saying, guys, Linda kanda unga because she needs to cook. Bakita Watawala, I think we read all of that. That also I read. Someone asked, how did you pull him to your vlog life? I think for me, the major thing is it hasn't, like, I feel like he is a very supportive person, and because he supports like what I do, it comes naturally for him to come and support what I do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or what do you think?
Well, yeah.
I think it takes support, basically.
Yes, I mean, I mean, I would say I'm sort of a natural at this. So unlike say
He's not a
Richie, for
social
example, I'm not
media.
really. I mean,
You're not like
I'm a little bit
Richie.
camera shy, I think. So it doesn't necessarily, like, you often see me maybe talking, but behind the camera. So, although I'm trying, I mean, having, been in this kind of also semi-career transition, because there aren't many aid jobs, there aren't many NGOs based in Helsinki, so there aren't many jobs available. So I'm looking at a kind of career transition. So something to possibly more of a media angle. So I mean, I quite enjoy photography. I use it throughout my work.
And he's an artist,
for example. I mean, I trained as an artist originally, so I mean, I have this kind of, I suppose you could say, sort of a media-related angle to my skill set. So I'm looking at maybe, I mean, whatever comes up next, I'll simply take it. It doesn't have to be an aid job. I'm just happy to be here with the family after everything we've been through. I mean, it was quite an experience. A lot of close shaves.
Yeah, someone is saying Nasiwendo says Bakita na machosho wetu wa diabetes tunawasukuma hata na wheelchair tukienda dinner, like the way, like, if you invite one person they become many of us. So they even push the Kujeni, just all of you are invited to our dinner table tonight. We have amazing dinner prepared for all of you. Na tunakwanga na audacity tunasema na useke pilipili mingi, hatukulangi pilipili, so like we don't eat a lot of chili, so like warning the guests not to put a lot of chilies in the food. Okay, get a picture now. Okay, that's nice. Hello, Jose, Diana Beauty. Thank you so much, God, for joining this stream. I really, really do appreciate you. Thank you for taking your time to pass by. We really love you at the same time in this place. Diana Beauty, how are you doing today? We are doing fantastic. I hope you are able to see the topic today that we're tackling. And basically it's our move to Finland, and then just 42 tube onko isi olut aina okay. Awesome. Miss Sunshine 254 say, hey, thank you so much, Miss Sunshine, for joining this stream. We really, really, really appreciate you so much. Just 42 tube, welcome so much. We really appreciate you for coming through. Miss Sunshine says hello. Where were we so far?
I was explaining why.
Yeah, so when it comes to, I remembered.
Oh, the work balance.
The work balance.
Yes, so I mean that's basically how we achieved it. I mean it was basically going from
one job to another,
one situation to
another, but also still putting family in mind.
Yeah.
I think for me, what I would say works for us most is we both love family. So wherever he was or wherever I was, we always found time to catch up as family, like over WhatsApp and stuff like that.
I mean that's like the minimum you have to,
when family time comes, we put the job aside and come and we'll have a chat on WhatsApp. And even to just advancing our relationship as well. There was also where we also just have our own time as couples through WhatsApp and just catch up, because I feel like many times if someone is working abroad, especially, there comes a time when the relationship easily just lights off without the two of you noticing, because you're too busy chasing money and maybe the other person changing diapers, and you just never catch up. Or not that it's a bad thing to do, but you never catch up on who was there first before the amazing children that you have. Because at the end of the day, you need a strong partnership as a woman and a wife in a relationship to be able to raise a healthy family, I think. So for us, it was mostly about finding balance. Like even if he's at work, when the family time comes, he's always there. When I'm going with the kids to the clinic and stuff like that, he'll always be online. And I think I'm also thankful for the jobs he used to do, because being on your position, you're able to create time. You're not like,
well, yeah, I was fortunate.
you're the
I
one
was
assigning,
like
so
a manager. I can sort of use that make the space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was really, I mean, even just having.
Thank you so much, Samantha. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate you guys being here, really so very much. And guys, for all of you who are here, if you have like 2 gadgets and you are supporting me, please, you can always run me on, or 3 gadgets, just run me on all of the gadgets that you have. And I really, really appreciate that. I'm also paying like my own self right here because, you know, your girl needs these hours, and much as I'm sharing information, it would also be nice if you guys can come through for me in that manner. So I think if, for example, you are in a relationship, it's always really, really good that you find a balance between the 2 of you, for you two as people who are dating, and also the children as well, because at the end of the day, no one needs to be not taken care of, you know. So if you find that balance, then everything else works out. And when the times that it comes from, of course, there's the rest part. And I feel like in these times, always the most job is on you, because then as much as we are communicating online, there's also the emotional, the physical attachment that the kids always will have towards you than me, because I've been with them like every day. So every time he comes home, he always makes sure that he creates time more for the kids as much as he creates time for me as well. So that has also been helping a lot. At the same time, I think basically some companies have long R&Rs. And instead of your partner going like for holiday by themselves, you can choose always to go for holiday together, which is like the rest and the recuperation time. So you can go for holidays together, or you can choose to just come home and be at home instead of just flying off by yourself and saying, woohoo, like, for example, you have R&R, right? And you choose to fly, let's say, for a holiday somewhere else, and then you talk to your family still because you need rest.
Well,
which would happen most if someone is not a family man, I think.
Oh, maybe, yeah. But then there's a problem that some, like Oxfam had this bizarre policy whereby I could get away with it because I did not have a residence permit for Kenya when I was in South Sudan.
Yeah.
But what they said was you could only do your R&R, which is like the mandatory. There's leave and then there's R&R. And they only give you R&R for what they consider high stress, high risk job postings.
Yeah.
So I was in the middle of South Sudan. Of course, it was. Did they manage to get a peace now? I'm not sure. They're working on a peace treaty recently, but they were still in the middle of the civil war. So, and my position was actually behind the rebel lines, in a rebel-held pocket.
Yeah.
So they consider that a high, and it's literally like a village. I mean, you imagine a South Sudanese village. That's how we live. We didn't have any fancy accommodation there.
Yeah.
So it was pretty rough. So so they give you R&R for that kind of position, for example.
Yeah.
So but then they say bizarrely that you can't use the R&R if you plan to fly home to your home country. So technically, at that time, I was there on a British passport. So technically, it was Britain. So or wherever you're. I mean, although my de facto home was Nairobi, if you like. So fortunately, I didn't have. They even asked me like, "What your family is in Nairobi?" But I said, "I know, but I don't have a residence permit."
Yeah.
So they're like, "Okay, fine. It's Nairobi's Nairobi." That was within their geographic range.
Yeah.
For R&R destinations. So I got away with it, but other people didn't have to pay if they wanted to go home. Like there was one poor guy from Indonesia. Imagine one of my.
You have to pay for yourself.
My wash engineer, head of my wash engineer team.
Yeah.
He was from Indonesia, for example. So. And like I said, when they don't pay you that much in some of those roles, it's not really very
clear.
No, it's kind of makes you quite angry actually, because you're putting yourself at great risk, and you're not getting much back in terms of trying to balance the family life. So it really just depends. I mean, the last organization I was with, their R&R didn't matter. I flew from Iraq to Helsinki. Yeah. So no problem.
And just to reckon again, thank you so much, guys, for everyone who's watching right now. If you're doing YouTube or you're just joining from our WhatsApp group or you're joining from Facebook, if you're joining from Instagram, I really, really, really do appreciate you guys. You can also take a screenshot of this stream and share on your page on any social media network, because I feel like there's information here and everyone needs to have access to information. Without forgetting, please give your host a thumbs up, share this video, but mostly give it a thumbs up so it shows YouTube also that this conversation is happening here and it can be useful to another person, especially who needs this information. So please do so, and we really, really appreciate that. Miss Sunshine says, I worked in Darfur also with UNICEF. Totally understand. That is so true. So you have like a kind of like an aid field worker, field kind of related person. So that's so beautiful, Miss Sunshine. I love that. I really, really love that. So another thing, as you guys get the questions, we wanted to do was we had like some couple challenge questions we had ready, because I felt like we need some break. So we are taking a break by doing like a couple tag. So the first question would be, where did we first meet?
In Nairobi.
And I hope you guys are in here, okay? With us. So we're doing a couple tag right now as we take a break. If you have any questions, post them right here, and we are going obviously to handle all of them with regards to moving from Nairobi to Finland. For now, let's continue with the couples tag, and thank you so much for everyone watching. I hope you are enjoying this stream. Keyboard, you make the conversation amazing, and I appreciate all of you. Everyone who has shared this stream, I really, really, really do appreciate you. Everyone who's been watching through, you are the OG. I love you so very much. So question number 2, where was we met in Nairobi, basically. We first met, we met in Nairobi physically, but we first had like a chat online.
We spoke on the phone.
Yeah. Where was your first date?
It was Java.
Yeah. I actually always just tend to confuse between our first date and our second date. So our first date of like getting to see each other and meet each other was at Java in Koinange Street. And that was the very first place we went to.
That was the last place we went to.
So we're not planning to leave Kenya, and like the day we were leaving, we went back to Java because we felt like it was such a symbolic place for our marriage, our relationship, our everything, to just go back there and just end it all where it started. So we, not to end really, but just to start the journey after going there. So we, of course, had the Java cup of coffee. What was your first impression of me?
First impression?
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, I thought, someone seemed very authentic. I mean, very sincere, and had a kind of natural beauty of character.
Oh, thank you so much. For me, I felt like the very first time I met you, the first impression was, I felt like there was a lot of genuinity in every conversation we had. Like it wasn't like someone was cooking up something, like just saying something because it's pushing the conversation or something. So that is so beautiful. Thank you so much. Love it. Okay, I'll give the kiss like that. Okay. When did you meet my family?
It was sometime. I mean, it wasn't that long after.
So I think it was like something around.
It was a couple of months, I think. Yeah.
After, but not so long. I can't remember the exact time.
Yeah.
So my mom and dad had come to Nairobi, and of course we were planning to like meet them. So we just planned along their travel dates so I could introduce my mom to my husband, because I had not then had even a WhatsApp call with my mom and my husband, because I just wanted them to like meet him in person instead of course they'd heard that I was seeing someone and I was really serious into settling with this person. But for me, it was important that they met him in person instead of meeting online or something, because my mom is not like my mom is a typical like traditional mom. Although she's young, she'll be like, I want to see them in face, So they traveled, and that's how we met. The tea is really hot. Yes, I love the tea.
Hmm?
When did who said I love you first? I think that would
I
be
don't remember.
me, probably. I think because I'm so
No, no, no.
talkative.
I don't remember.
That we don't remember. That we don't remember. So, Daniel, what's up, baby? You want to go to Isa? Okay. Daniel is getting a little bit uncomfortable. So we've done who said I love you first.
What do you?
Weird habits of each other. Weird habits, weird habits, weird habits.
I can't think.
Do you have a weird habit? I'm a cranky person in the morning. I think that's my weird habit, and
no,
I
there's
love
something
my
to do with
coffee.
silly. I've drawn a blank. I can't think of. But you have like one weird habit, something around either just something to do with. I can't. It's just routine thing. Well, normally is routine things, but somebody has a weird habit. But
I think
I can't think.
Vesa.
Yes.
Being by myself, like when I'm doing the numbers.
No, that's totally understandable.
Okay.
No,
that is not.
Sorry. Yeah.
That is not answerable
I'll
at the
think
moment.
of it later.
So weird habits. How often? What do I? What I often do in my free time. What I do in my free time?
You're on social media, basically.
He's a workaholic. So if I'm on my free time, I'm usually either editing my videos or on Instagram, and sometimes also catching up with all
now
of
I'm
you.
playing with the children.
And he also, okay, this is the thing. During my free time, I live with boys basically, and I feel like sometimes they are overpowering because their activities I just can't. I love so much, because I love you so much and I love you guys so very much, but these people love trades, right? I know as far as putting it on and off, but they have like these hobbies that they do together. So when they think about mommy, then they always know where to find me. I think any mom here who's a mom of boys always will understand that sun is out, time to shine. I'm sipping my tea. Thank you so much and cheers, girl. First thing you noticed about me.
Your voice.
I think for me it should be your height because I'm very short. Like we're such a funny people. I am short and he is really tall. So basically, if I have to kiss him, I have to lift my toes up to get to his lips, unless we are sitting down. So yeah. So for me, it was his height. And then who pisses you off? I think, do you piss each other off? Like makes you upset?
What pisses you off?
Oh, what pisses you off?
I think just in general.
Okay. I think for me, people who don't love people or inhumane, act inhumane or something. Because I'm generally just
there's too many things.
You have too many things?
Yeah.
One? Okay.
It would never stop. Right?
What am I good at?
Negotiation. It's true.
Yeah,
high risk settings negotiation. Nelly explain that.
High risk.
High risk settings. High stakes.
If you're in trouble, holla at me. I got you. No,
it's kind of like
funny thing is,
it's kind of like Jack Bauer, or
if you watch
the lady in Scandal.
So if you need any negotiations done for you, I'm your person. Miss Sunshine says sprinkle people who don't love people. Yes, I think I love people, and I really truly do love people, and I believe that that's how we all should be. So yeah. And I'm strong at negotiation. So if you have anyone you don't get along with, I am that person. I've seen Nyagas in the building. Thank you so much for coming, and you're so much welcome. She says, hello, host and everyone here. We love you so much, Nyagas. Richie says, sprinkle, sprinkle. So if you're in trouble, Just call me. This is the thing. I'm a peacemaker. I feel like, because
Yeah,
I'm always having
you
both
also have to be
parties at heart,
a little bit brave.
Yeah. So I always have both parties at heart, but I'm so thorough when it comes to negotiations.
Fearless.
And fearless as well, even if sometimes I know just I'm really getting like into trouble, but Sunshine, people join to changamsha. Yeah, and Sunshine, karibu sana. You can join the stream. There's a link I had posted, so you can just like join through the link, and I really appreciate that. Sunshine anasema she loves the energy. Thank you so very much. Sunshine says, hey, Tony, and Beraki says, love is beautiful. The chemistry is really lovely couple. Thank you so much, Beraki. Really, really appreciate that. Nicknames for each other. Do you have nicknames? I think we just call each other like sweethearts. Really.
Mommy.
Isa. He calls me mommy sometimes. Sometimes I call him Isa, which is like dad.
Then finish.
And then because our kids like call him Isa, so I find it just easier. And then sweetheart, love. Rarely do I hear my name unless we're in public, like he's talking to his friend about me, then he'll call my name majorly. Do I have any weird obsessions?
Weird obsessions.
I'm very I like my things done in a certain way.
Again, it's more like kind of like the weird habits one.
Like I believe, like for example, if you have to.
That was too technical.
Can you think of anything? Okay. What's my wait a minute, let's see. What am I good at? Did you talk about that? Yes, you talk about that. Or am I what am I not good at?
It's those small like Lego, building Lego.
Oh God, those are so. I think it's because again, I'll say those you guys have like very
small
funny
technical
hobbies,
activities like that.
And I feel like also because of how we were raised up, like I grew up playing with basically simple toys, and my husband on the other side grew up like making Legos and whatnot. So for me, it's still like a challenge. I think I feel like I'm not good at it. And most of the time, my kids do tell me like, Mommy, we'll give you a timeout. We'll make you build a tiger tank. And I'm just like, oh, that will be like the biggest timeout you can ever give me. That will be the biggest. Yeah. So if mommy is naughty, mostly the kids will tell me to build Legos. I mean, everyone makes mistakes. So yeah. If I'm naughty, I'll always be given a timeout, for example, for Lego to build or something. And that is like pain. So yeah. I think there's guest in the house. Let's add to the screen. Thank you, Sunshine.
Oh, I'm on.
Hey, looking so vibrant on your yellow. I love it. I love the color too much.
Let me show you. It's a jumpsuit, all right?
Oh, that is so beautiful. Oh, yeah. Wow.
It's one piece, man.
It's so amazing. I love it. You look so beautiful in it. And it goes so well with me.
And so do you. So do you.
Oh, thank you.
And I just want to say, like, I love the love.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
I think you met your in yoga. They will say you met your twin soul.
Oh, that's so cute.
And it's beautiful to see that. It's so beautiful. So thank you for sharing this with us, of course.
Thank you so much. Thank you so very much. And we really, really appreciate this, joining our live stream and coming to just bring your sunshine along the way because it's snowing here and we need some sun and sunshine is in the building.
Even when it's winter, honey. Even when it's winter, you bring the sun.
We manifest the sun. So please meet my husband. And this is my son, Daniel.
That's the youngest, yeah?
Yeah, this is the youngest, always cuddling during the day. And me.
So
and
you have 3 boys.
I have 3 boys, and I think I have 4 boys because one is just big.
That's why you're a queen. You're strong.
I have a strong
Believe me.
support on my routine, you know.
Yeah,
There's a really
absolutely.
strong foundation of men, so I really, really love that. How are
And
you?
oh, I'm fabulous.
Oh, mhm. I just love your
I,
vibration, like always so lively.
I am fabulous. Yesterday, I was in
Mm-hmm.
the studio with
Mm-hmm.
okay, so I'm trying to create something called the Sunny People Movement, which is
Aha,
to book
wow.
African artists
Mm-hmm.
and create a stage or a summer bar here in Belgium, because I want to change the narrative of the Black people in the
Oh,
diaspora.
wow. That's so beautiful, Miss
Ah,
Sunshine.
Yeah, so I'm working with various artists, and yesterday the studio was lit.
I saw your stories and I'm like, what are you cooking right now? You know,
Oh
something
my
is
God,
cooking for them.
I was cooking kama nilikuwa ninapika kuku na nazi.
You know that?
chicken
Chicken
breast.
and coconut,
Ah,
coconut
okay.
still so good.
Yeah, that is what I was cooking. I was
When are we
cooking.
having
Hmm?
when are we having it out? Are you making like a music to go with the event, or you're just like
Oh, I'm
having,
gonna be releasing music every month.
wow, wow, go
Yeah,
for it.
that's how serious it is now.
Go for it. Go for it.
It's
You
now or
have
never,
it.
darling. And
You
that is
have
what
it.
I just also want to share with you. It's
Uh-huh.
now or never. Like
Yeah.
it's sometimes life imitates art,
Yes, yes. True.
or art
Mhm.
imitates life.
Intentionally. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's very
So,
wise.
like you guys also doing this, there's a
Mm,
reason why you're doing this. Your
yeah,
energy is needed for a time
yeah,
like this.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
never
Mhm.
about the numbers, it's not about the views. It's
yeah,
about, are you doing and are you being in your purpose?
yeah,
Mhm.
true. Walking in
And
alignment.
yeah, alignment, baby. It's now or
Alignment.
never. The
Yeah,
only
yeah,
time you get to do something is when you have breath. That's why when you born a baby, for them to see that the baby is alive, they turn
yeah,
him upside down and the baby has to
Mhm.
cry.
yeah, true. Very
And
true.
that crying is an indication of the soul of the baby entering into this world. And that
Yeah.
is why in the Bible it says, I knew you before you
Even
were
before you
born.
were born. I love that. Bring
Okay?
some word on a Sunday with the
You know,
sun.
I gotta preach sometimes.
This is
But
how
you know,
Kenyan are
I'm
again.
sorry, I'm sorry, husband, brother-in-law. Okay. I am just a lot of energy.
No, that's
I
fine.
love
That's
this.
fine.
I really, really do love this. Let me just read the comments and then I ask you
Okay,
something.
cool.
You guys look so amazing.
Amazing.
Next time you have a topic on how well do I know my husband and wife. I think we should
Yeah.
do that.
Ooh, that's nice.
Ooh, let me
That's
screenshot
nice.
that right now. Okay, done. And then actually Daniel is so cute, giving me a baby fever. Go girl. I'm praying for my own baby, Daniel. Oh, that's so amazing. And I feel like the name just comes with the grace of its own, and every child is amazing. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
like the name just befits every individual that it has. So that is so beautiful. Shemeji is so calm and composed. Thanks, Doc. Thanks, Doc. It's a love. Thank you so much, Miss Kasesi. Love you so much. The saying you're so calm. So Shemeji is
Oh,
like the in-law kind of. So you are the Kenyans in-laws. I hope I'm representing Kenyans very well in this house. Yeah.
I think you are.
Uh, very true, sprinkles. Sprinkles on that. I really love what elevating with Esther says. And then Lily Ann says, hey Nelly, hey girl, how are you doing today? Nasimwendo says, Vera, you are just oozing wisdom. I really appreciate that. And then Zamusha says, sprinkles, sprinkles, sunshine, love your energy.
Thank
So
you. Thank
that
you.
we really like, and I feel like it's when the vibration is just like so. I don't know. I feel like when you talk to people, you feel their energy, and you're just
Mhm.
basically able to connect. And Miss Sunshine, I love you for just you being the most
Well,
amazing human I know.
don't
So
make
that
me
is so
mess my
beautiful.
makeup, darling. Okay. I don't want to cry.
You are so amazing. So I had one question for you, right?
Okay.
How did you move abroad? Because of course you're a Kenyan. And because it's like topic related, I felt like it's also good to ask you at the same
Of
time to
course.
just know. Yeah, yeah. And also
Okay.
for the audience, whoever is watching.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know if somebody catch the live that we did with Kate, Coco, big up.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It was about I was in uni.
Mm-hmm.
I was in university in
Yeah.
Daystar. Big up to the people from Daystar. I'm studying, being a good girl. So, I grew up like
Mm-hmm.
in a very strict Luo house, like we were
Wow.
all girls. So
I
my
feel you.
father, like dating and shit like that ain't happening. And what
I
happened?
remember.
What happened? I met my white husband, my ex-husband, in
Mm-hmm.
Kenya when I was in university.
Wow. That's
He was the
nice.
first man I ever dated, and the
Uh-huh.
last man that I got married to. So
Wow.
my
So
first
you
ever
dated and then you
relationship,
married. First love, first marriage.
first love, everything about love. He showed me Kenya. We had a good time. He was there working as an engineer for a wind farm. Zile ziko
Uh-huh.
Ngong.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
and at that time, as I said, I was also just after university with him. I had to go to
Uh-huh.
Darfur. That's why I said I worked in
Okay.
UNICEF.
Ah.
Yeah. So I
Wow.
met him like when I was about in uni 19
Mm-hmm.
or 19 on December 2000. Don't forget.
Wow. That's nice.
You
Let
know.
me just keep
So
talking. I'm here.
yeah, sure, no problem. And then, like at that time, I also got the job. As I said, like I have a connection and I understand about ANR, like rest and recovery. So I used to work in the Darfur and Loki Chogyo with UNICEF.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I really understand the balance of having family and then you have to do the ANR. But for
Yeah.
me, unlike you, Kenya is my country and we could do,
Yeah.
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 So it's difficult, as you were saying about if your family is abroad or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It
that
was.
that was very good information. Yeah. So when I met him, he was my first boyfriend. I never had any relationship with a Kenyan guy. I never had a relationship with an African guy. He was the
Oh,
first.
wow.
Okay.
And
Ah,
he's the baby daddy now.
that's so beautiful. That is
Yeah.
so beautiful. And I'm so proud of that. Like, your love story is so charming, you know? First love,
Yeah.
first marriage,
And even if
raised.
it ended because I'm divorced now,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I'm divorced.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
So
Sorry.
yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, but we are very, very
Good
good
friends.
friends. Very, very.
Wow.
Like we
Yeah,
go for holidays together.
that's
We
beautiful.
can
Wow.
even share like one time I was in Kenya and he was like, yeah, I'm taking the boys to Kenya. Okay, I'm also going to come to Kenya with his new wife who's a
Oh,
Meru from
wow.
the,
That's so
from the lake to
nice.
the mountains.
Okay.
And it takes, Miss Sunshine, let me just cut you off a little bit there. It takes a
Yes.
strong woman to manage, like to be able to say, you know what, I've not met someone right now, but
Mm.
you have met someone and I'm really happy for you. That takes like a strong woman to notice that and to do that.
No, you know why? Because the children,
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah,
children,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
it's the children.
Yeah,
How can you teach a child to love if you don't show them what love is?
true. It's not possible.
Yeah.
It's not possible.
I
And I
mean,
think
we
you have
bring,
touched that what I mentioned,
mhm.
when I said that during our application we had to apply for sole custody, and I was saying
Okay.
if you have a family where the baby daddy is in picture and really doing their
Mhm.
best to be a father, then it's
Mhm.
really important that you also let them have the joy of seeing their children grow up,
Of
making
course,
sure that they have the open platform to have a conversation.
because the child chose you too, whether it
Yeah.
is bad now or not. They chose your energy. Like I believe, like before the souls come into the world,
Mhm.
they say, I want that mama and I want that papa.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that is what we call karma.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
They choose. So
True.
how can you punish the child? I
It's
mean,
not.
this,
I think it's not. It's
I
not
even call
fair.
her I call her my co-wife, you know. We go, we drink wine.
True, she is. You know, she is.
Yeah.
Because
And you
let's
know
say,
the
for
most
example, uh-huh.
the most interesting, I'm sorry to cut you off,
No
but this is
worries,
a
no
very
worries.
sensitive topic to me, and I'm
Yeah,
actually surprised. But I think I've decided I have gone through a lot of things that maybe I need to talk about. So
yeah.
I'm sorry if I think that I'm talking too much or whatever.
No, not at all, Surah. You know why I'm saying not at all? Because
Mhm,
what we are right now is not the
mhm.
reality of every other family. And at
Absolutely.
the same time, as a couple, I wouldn't say I would wish for us to like break off, never ever. But breakups do happen. And women, we are like, we sometimes are very proud. You understand? And so to see
Mhm.
someone like you having this conversation, it's so
Yeah.
beautiful and so educating to another person that there are different realities of life. There's where
Absolutely.
someone gets born, you get the passage of life, you know, you get born, you
Mhm.
get married. We added one where you can get divorced and get remarried, and then we have now where you grow old.
Oh, the tea is hot.
The
Mm.
tea is hotter. I'm drinking my water. It's colder, girl.
I have a cocktail in my red cup.
No worries. So I feel like it's really nice and beautiful to see. I don't see any badness in sharing this. It's strength, you know. When you share
Okay,
information and you
thank you.
give someone information, you've given them power.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So to just show other women that it's doable, you don't have to be enemies with your baby daddy just because a
Absolutely
relationship
not.
ended.
And
You
that
know?
is why I love also Akote.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is also like Sibor Madako.
Sibor
She's really,
Madako.
yeah,
Yeah.
Sibor Madako. Yeah,
The the
like she
the
is
female
the female
lion.
lion. The
Yeah,
It's
female
not like a
lion.
lioness. It's like
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
She's
not a
a
lioness.
handsome
It's,
woman. Not a
yeah,
lioness. The female
yeah.
lion.
So as I was saying, like we can go to a vacation. I book my hotel or I book my cottage. They book on the other. Sometimes I
Yeah.
even babysit for their baby. I
Wow.
babysit for them.
That's
And they
nice.
go and they have a good time. Why would they pay a babysit and they have a whole mother here with the kids when we're
Yeah.
doing the exchange of the children and maybe
Mhm.
they need to go somewhere?
Mhm.
They bring the baby to me and then they go together.
And you know the most important part of that is that their children and your children are able to live up together, knowing that they are one family, because of the
Absolutely.
relationship they see you guys having together, which is
Yeah.
so
Absolutely.
important. Yeah. So I think that is
But
so
I
beautiful.
have to also say that I just have to say, like, honestly, it was not easy to get to this place I'm talking about now. There was
Uh-huh.
a lot of hatred and everything. And the whole time, thank God, it's because I do yoga and I do meditation. And I understand that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, that
Yeah.
whatever the other person is doing, I have to always elevate my energy up. You
True.
have to keep the light on,
And that's
you
the
know?
biggest role you play, you know?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is it. So, of course, it was very nasty in the beginning.
Yeah.
Even was wishing, I don't want to talk about that. Okay. I'm sorry. You
I
know,
know how
like
painful it can be.
yeah, it was like very vengeful. Like somebody you said you love suddenly wants the worst for you and you don't understand why.
Yeah.
But the
Sorry.
whole time I was like, it's my kids, it's my children. If I'm going to teach them to love, then I have to be love.
It's your children and it's his children as well. Like these kids are never going to be able to.
But that time he wants to hate the mother. But you, as a divine feminine, you cannot go to his energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to
True.
elevate, you know.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
once
Take
I
the girl.
realized that, that's why I have this relationship with them now. He also came back and he said, like, oh my God, I'm really sorry. Because pain can make people do
Look at the
crazy things.
shots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. True. True.
And then
Lily, I'm just sorry for cutting you short. Lilian said
Yeah,
it must take a lot of maturity to be able to be in such a situation with no bad blood involved.
Yeah.
it's not. It's everything is a choice. It's not about maturity.
Yeah.
It's a choice. You either decide to do good or to do bad. There is only two energies in this world: love or fear,
I
positive
remember
or
you telling
negative.
me that.
That's
You
it.
choose. And life is about choices. So you choose what you
Choices.
want to have.
You
You know?
choose. You choose. Even if
Mhm.
at that time it will cause pain, but choose right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Choose right. Those kids
Yeah.
didn't ask to be there. You brought them there because
You
of a
brought
moment of
them.
love.
God,
So
you are speaking
how can
wisdom
you
right
now
now.
pass it? How can you pass
Yeah.
that? No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Hi, Chinese Kiki.
Chinese Kiki with sunshine in the building. You know, I
Oh,
really love
Chinese
this. I
Kiki.
really, really do love
Sending you
this.
love. Sending you love.
Um, Nancy Mwendo, Tekla Clay says Mwendo, imi wango atanza hadi kutumia
Kutumwa.
shout outs na interacting with audience. I can't risk. Okay. Someone is talking about having, I think, their like husband online. And Lily Ann says, Karibu Tony Chinese Kiki fan page, sprinkles, sprinkles. And thank you,
Sprinkle,
Kiki, for being in the
sprinkle.
building. We really, really appreciate you guys so much.
Sprinkle.
Thank you so much. So, Miss Sunshine, I also wanted to ask you, before we go now to the process of like coming over here, when when love ends, and this happens sometimes, did you have friends or circle of friends around you who directed you to the path of having like some sort of a leveled ground with your partner, or like did you have to heal and come to this level of maturity by yourself?
So listen, so as I said, I met him like when I was in university. So he was my first love, right?
Yeah.
So we stayed in Kenya for like 10 years. I didn't have children until 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. And then, so I've known him for a long time. And then once the babies were born, they were born in Kenya. Then we decided, let's come and move here because his contract has also ended. And I was like, always like, I worked in Dubai. I've always been working outside. I've worked in Thailand, you know. So, but those were other stories for other days, why I did that. But then we came back after the babies were born. Actually, my babies, we came back when they were 6 months. We moved to Belgium.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I had known him in Kenya for all that time before we moved here, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then of course, things were never easy. And, you know, sometimes you're like, okay, you're trying, but then you realize, okay, it's done. Like, we have reached, you know, and I want to correct you for one thing. You say when love ends, love never ends.
Love never ends. Sorry.
If it ever ends, then it was never love.
When the relationship ends, not relationship, because relationships also you're forever
The
related.
relationship is still there.
No, I don't know. When the feelings changes, I think like that's the best way to say.
No, I think I will say when the transition happens.
Wow. Well, you
when you transcend or ascend.
When you transcend. Okay. That's perfect. That's
I
really
think
perfect. I think that's the best way to describe it. When you transcend. Now I know.
when you transcend, it's a
Now
transition.
When you transcend. Now, thank you so much.
Oh
now
my
I
God.
know, Becca. When you transcend, then so how was the transition? Because
In
now
the
we're
beginning it
about
was very rough. Very rough. Wacha nitaongea hii part na Kiswahili. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unajua ile za umeanza kudiscover your voice, unaanza kuongea ukweli wako, unaanza kutembea kwa ukweli wako. So vile alinikutana niki kwa university, your picture may change.
Sure.
So it's either you accept or you want to change the other person. So ilikuwa mbaya, ilikuwa zile za alikuwa anasema I wish you would have died.
Wow.
It went so hateful. Very hateful. And by the way, karibu nikufe nikiza the twins, Kenya. I had more than 11 liters of water. My body was drowning.
Wow.
In my own fluid. I didn't stay with my children. I was taken to ICU.
You went through a lot.
Alafu ukienda through divorce, the person you said I love is telling you, I wish you would have died.
You the other side of.
And then you know what I told him? So I said, if I would have died, so you want your sons to grow without knowing their mother?
Yeah. Wow.
When they go low,
you go high.
Go high.
You don't get to their level.
No way. Because ni kama shetani. Shetani anakuja kuchukua energy yako, si ndio?
Pole sana. Yeah, the devil anakuja kuchukua level yako because somehow anataka kushinda, and the only way kushinda is through winning and like taking the vibration away from you. You know, like when you're powerless, then anything.
But it's a choice.
Yeah.
It's a choice.
It's a choice, yes. That's
you
true.
either allow it or you don't.
Yeah. And I'm just so glad that you the way you talk about this now with openness, you know, if there's any person watching this live stream today, and I hope that this openness gives you some sense of reason to the choices you make if you're ever in the same type of situation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. That's the reason why I'm sharing. That's the reason why. And then that is
one up here.
Hi, Richie.
Wawero Lilian is saying self-awareness. Richie Roger says Pole Sana. Now we're saying sprinkles to the new realization, you know, of the beauty of
Richie,
everything.
Richie, I am so good right now.
Aki, Miss Sunshine, you are strong. I agree with you, Verakis. Like, I really do agree with you. It takes strength. And it takes grit. And it takes going back to your core. You know, it's like everything you have known has been like, it's upside down. You know the water is in the glass, but now the water is outside the glass.
Absolutely.
Like, when you understand?
Absolutely.
It takes a lot. It takes a lot, and I believe and I know you are a strong woman for having just gone through all of this.
Also,
I see strength as well, and I see maturity, and that's very right, Richie Roger. So, like, we've talked about this, and I hope that this actually helps someone, and I'm so happy for everyone watching right now. Again, if you have someone you can share the stream with, please go ahead and do so. Share it in your community, on your Instagram account, on your Facebook account. I really, really do appreciate everyone in the comment section right now. Anyone running me on any of their platforms, I really do appreciate this. So back to you, Miss Sunshine. How was your move from Kenya to Belgium?
Yeah, my move was like this. So me, I was blessed. I came with my nanny from Kenya. Nilikuwa nasema, hawa watoto wawili siwezi make. Na nimetoka life death experience. I was like, we are taking a nanny with us, okay?
Wow. Wow. Sasa mimi nilikuwa mjinga hapa. I was like, nanny, bye. Sprinkles, guys, because I think this is like what I struggled with most, I would say. The whole entire time of my motherhood, I have not raised kids by myself. You understand? Like, I've always had a house elf in the house. I've always had, if my husband is away, there's always a house elf. There's always my brothers. I've always had family. So coming to Finland was like, wow, did I even know what I was doing in the first place? You understand? I just felt like, ooh, so sprinkles to you, girl.
Tell me, like, unani stress, alafu unataka kuni stress na watoto. Nilimwambia sasa tutabeba nani, Okay.
Nanny like
And
you
but
have two kids.
I prayed for that nanny, man. She was a good girl, like very
Wow.
good. Alikuwa ametoka ushago. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Look how the universe works. She also had twins. So she was
Beautiful.
familiar, yeah, she was familiar with
With the
handling things. So
environment she was
do
in.
remember that we're moving to Belgium.
Mhm.
I've just had a near-death experience that I
She
didn't
had
see my
like a
children.
body fluid, some pregnancy conditions that, yeah.
Yeah,
So it was like a
it was
difficult
traumatic. You know,
Yeah.
so like being in the ice. So like they were born in August, yeah. So we knew
Yeah.
at the end of the year we are moving. So you can imagine all the things. But I really was blessed with Karen. She's called Karen.
Yeah.
And I told my husband, listen, we're moving, yes.
Karen
Na hizo
had
stress zake nyingi. We will move with our nanny because me, I can't handle this. So of course when we when we moved, yeah.
you came
So
with Karen.
we made her papers and everything
Mhm.
later on. No, actually that's another story. But yeah, she was here, she was legal for about a year. And then after that, you know the story
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
making the papers again and da da da.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So she was such a great help when we moved. Because you can imagine a new country having a situation, a relationship problem, having two newborns, but she was my
Yeah.
strength. That
So at least you had someone who, I'd say, holds the weight of taking care of the children as much as you're still the mom.
Mhm.
And then at least you have like, wow, that was a blessing, I think.
That was a blessing.
I think that's the light you needed at that time because you have
Of
like a
course.
familiar, somebody
Of course.
relatable. Wow.
Yeah. And now she has educated her sisters. So you see, sometimes God blesses you for you to become a blessing to other people.
To other people. That's very true.
Because
That's
now
very,
you
very
see
true.
all her sisters who live in Kakamega have
Yeah.
all educated now because of being
Wow.
here.
Yeah.
So because
Yeah.
of the papers, now she's a nurse.
Yes, bless
And
your heart,
she doesn't live with me anymore because it was time for
Oh,
her to grow and to love, to go
I'm
and
like
expand
having
her
chills
life.
right now,
You know?
That is so beautiful.
Yeah, it was time.
It's empowering. She played a role that no one else could have played in your life,
Absolutely.
And takes me back to, I feel like sometimes our technical assistants are overlooked. And just sorry to
Mhm.
take you back here. And I'll give you an example as to when I became a mom for the first time. I did not have much money to be able to pay someone like good money. And I had this woman who was like in their 40s, getting to 50s, with like 7 children. And she was someone who saw me growing up, and she was like, Nelly has a child, I'll come and help. And the amount of money she agreed to for me to pay her was 1,000 bob.
Wow.
1,000 bob.
Per
So
month?
when I started working and I met my husband and we're looking for a house help, we had many people who wanted the job. And I said, you know what? I'd rather, now I'm able to pay good salary. I'm working, not like before I was going to school and I was still a single mom and all that stuff. And I said, let's take this lady in, and she came and we lived for almost, how long? Auntie. Disco, we call her Disco Auntie. She likes when
what?
The first auntie was auntie. Okay.
Auntie.
Usually, we used to call. She had like big nash, so we had a way of calling her. Okay, she was auntie. And we lived for how long? I can't remember.
Like 2 years, I think.
2 years, I think. Yeah. And by the end of her contract, basically when we're living with her, we told her, auntie, I don't know how long I'm able to live with you. But as we live, I'm going to be paying you this much. And it was a good salary. And I told her, because I'm working, you don't need to buy anything. And out of the tips I would get from work, I used to pay her children's primary school education, because Kenya education in public school is very cheap. And then Unfortunately, Auntie was not like very smart, but we were like, Auntie, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to come out of that house, you have to do this. And by the time we were parting ways with Auntie, because her daughter was also getting married and she needed to be present at her house for, you know, this traditional stuff, Auntie was having a permanent house. And for me, I feel like every person who comes to your life, they come with a reason.
Absolutely.
So it's you also to appreciate the role that they have.
And then you also have to not get justified like, oh, I did this. You just have to let them free.
Yeah. So like,
because
the
sometimes
right now,
it's a season.
Yeah.
They come for a season and for a reason.
Yeah. Very true. So I really love the way you're saying, because, you know, like now it's like you had her in your house, right? Absolutely. Now she is by herself and you have empowered her.
Exactly.
You opened her eyes to another type of empowerment that maybe she could have not realized, or could have taken longer to realize, you know?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
You are like, I know what you need. I know the information that can help you. So you're like, you didn't just see her like a help. You saw the potential.
Absolutely. Even the boys used to call her Mama Karen.
I love that.
Yeah, I love that. Because during the divorce, she became my strong tower, you know. She became my strong tower. But later, of course, you know, when people stay too long, let's just be real about this.
Yeah.
Then the wananda kumea pembe.
Yeah. I think that's when the relationship kind of tends to expire, and then so don't like.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I still, even after the divorce, I am the one who made her papers, not my ex-husband.
Wow.
My ex-husband actually, when we divorced, he wanted to take her back to Kenya. I said, no, if she goes there, what is she going to do? So I fought for her to stay here. And now she's a whole nurse.
Doing her own thing.
Doing her own thing in our own apartment, having our own life.
You know, that's Miss Sunshine. May the universe always reward you the energy you put out. I think that's what I can say. May the universe always reward you the energy you put out. Because for me, I do believe in payback, and not like in a bad way. Like, you might meet someone or see someone maybe hurting. If you help them, I'll give you an example. Like, me and my husband, we did first aid on Wayaki Way for years without expecting any pain. It's because we lived next to the road and there are many deaths that happened in the same place. So we used to buy like our own first aid kit, and we even had like, would say like first aid, and then people would move and then we'll get in, help, take people to the hospital. We saw some people dying and all of that stuff. But we used to ask ourselves, like, why do this? And guess what? Like, there was a time I was going to somewhere past Westlands. It was my very first time, and I was on a hit and run.
Okay.
You were walking.
We were walking. I was on a hit and run, knocked by the car with my friend off the road. I'm unconscious. My head is like, the skin is to my face, you know. And a good Samaritan from nowhere took me to the hospital. When he was being followed by policemen as someone who's committed murder, because he was carrying me on the front seat and there was just like blood. So everyone who saw the car was calling the police.
Oh my God.
And this guy took me to the hospital, waited until my husband came. And I'm like, the energy you always put out always comes back, you know?
Let me tell you, it's simple. Look, you know, nature, it teaches us so many things.
Yeah.
If you take a maize seed and put it in the ground, you will get a maize crop. Whatever you plant is exactly what you will sow.
Yeah.
You cannot plant beans even if you go for Ramadan or you fast or you detox your body or whatever you need to do to make yourself feel spiritual. Whatever you plant is exactly what you will reap. If you plant shit, you will reap shit.
Exactly.
If you plant a good seed, you shall reap a good crop.
That's true. That's very true. That's very true. So I really love that.
Let
Yeah,
Berekin, what is
Elevating.
Berekin?
I feel the same way.
You feel the same way?
Well, yes, and
Yeah,
It's so
yeah.
relatable. I'm
and
just
also
like,
kind of
wow.
Let
pictures.
me hear what he needs to say about this. Can you?
I was going to say also, I mean, when you see also like terrible things happen, and you feel like there's no accountability, and
Yeah.
in a certain way, if you sort of maintain that view that what you sow is what you'll reap. I mean, then it's sort of, sometimes for me anyway, it gives you a little bit of peace sometimes to say, well, okay, they may have gotten away this time, but the justice may be just around the corner, of course, for them. So because sometimes it can look a bit bleak, and
Yeah.
so it can also sort of give you a certain amount of peace that the universe is not totally out of control or a complete shambles.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I think I've
What
seen enough of
is
the
so?
situations.
Yeah.
Nelly's been in
What?
very tight situations, and somehow gotten out at like the last possible moment. So I think there's something if you
There's
take it
an
from a
X
probability,
factor. An X
yeah, I mean,
factor.
if you take it from just a pure probability point of view, the probability would be almost zero that you would say that such a assistance would happen.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so it seems like that. I mean,
I feel the energy you give will always be the energy you get, because otherwise we'll not be here. My husband will tell you, I've been through like a lot as a person.
That's why you see, like those gospel hymns we have in church. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kile unachopanda hicho ndio utavuna.
I really do love that. I really do love that. And guys, karma is real.
Well, karma is so real,
real,
man. Very real.
It's so real. I feel like
I
for
think
me,
because we are energy beings. We are energy beings. We are spiritual beings.
True.
The body we have, the body you had when you were 11 years is not the same as the body you had in your 20. It's not the same as you had in your 30, and big up in your 40,
Transition happens.
But the spirit is the same.
It's the same. Yeah.
That's
true.
The difference.
Go ahead, girl. 20 sadaka hapo kwa comment section.
20 sadaka. All this wisdom, I need to get paid.
Comments hapo kwa comment section.
Sadaka za comment, subscribe, like. Yeah.
Like, do all that good stuff.
But I said like, I love seeing this. Thank you for sharing with us.
It's really not just hearing you at the same time brings a different aspect to life as a whole, and brings me to the point that life is never, it's too like serious. A coin. There's never
it's never too serious.
It's never too serious, and there's always a two side. You know? So
glass
the one side is what you see, and the second side is the other reality of life as a whole. Veraki says, Aki, that's amazing, Miss Sunshine. Some people would have taken the family member to Belgium. The fact that you gave someone else the opportunity shows what of an amazing person you are. And Miss
Let me tell you something.
Sprinkles.
But let me tell you, to just verify that about Vera, I was praying for somebody who, it's not about family, it's about, again, energy, vibration. So I was specific about my prayer, is that I wanted somebody who's going to be like a mama figure, who's going to help me. Yeah. This lady was introduced to me to a lady who used to come to my house to clean. It was her first time from Kakamega. Akwata anajua deodorant ama kuva trouser. Akwa amevaa trouser. But when I saw her, I knew. Alafu later, I come to find out that she also had twins. Wow. And look at this. She also gave birth, and she had to run from her marital house. That's why she was in Nairobi looking for work.
Wow.
and her first work happened to be me. So it's not about the family member, it's about alignment.
Alignment, true, alignment.
Blood
And I
has
usually say the thing
blood,
like, now,
blood has
no,
nothing to do with it.
sorry,
Blood has nothing to do with it.
blood has nothing to do with it. Very true. I feel like what I usually say, and I keep repeating, is you'll always be connected to the people you need at a specific time. The universe will always connect you to the energy you need at a specific time. You know,
Yeah.
like just meeting someone, the way your story kind of correlates is to show that like nothing happens for just for the sake of nothing. You
There's no
understand?
random.
We're
There's
not
no
having
random.
like this conversation for the sake of just nothing. You understand? It's
Let
not
me
like
let me
by
just
nothing
say
that we're just all
one
sitting
thing.
here.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
Life is about numbers.
Mhm.
You were born with one, you will die with one.
With one.
Okay,
True.
continue.
Wow. I love this. I love this. I don't see it as a coincidence. Tekla Clay says Tony Sasa. Let me see if I missed anything else. Elevating with Esther says, love your energy, Miss Sunshine, and the conversation is really inspiring. Strong women empower each
other. Bless.
Exactly. Thanks for sharing this, Miss Sunshine. Strong woman, sprinkles all the way. I'm getting motivated. Richie again said, I see the strength. I don't think I'm as strong as Miss Sunshine. You are strong, girl. When you get there, you realize your strength. Aki, Miss Sunshine, you are strong. People adore your strength, self-awareness. Wow.
No, it's the both of us. We're doing this together.
Yeah, forgiveness is the best dose one can take.
Yeah.
So I really am loving this. What we're saying, when I was in Kenya, I bought sanitary towels for children's home. When I moved to Europe, every time we go for our monthly shopping, we shop always never charge. The shop always never charges for them. Wow. Not finding
the barcode. What
does
that mean?
So does it mean that you get the sanitary towels for free, or anyway? This is so nice. That's an act of kindness, because you're thinking about other women and their needs as you factor in your also personal needs at the same time. I really love that. Tony Santa says Tekla Clay. Lillian says, I don't see, I read that already, I think. Please remember to share this with your friends. I really do appreciate you guys being here with us. So Miss Sunshine, like once moving, like how was your paperwork? Like, was it like so hard, or like was it so easy?
So you see, after the you see, when I was getting divorced, now I have, of course, my nanny and the 2 children, correct? So I have 3 people I'm thinking about to take care of. Okay. So I just moved to Belgium. Then we started the divorce after the boys turned 1 year.
Wow.
So I was divorced by the time there were 2.
2. Okay.
It took time. It was not easy. It was not easy.
I know.
He even refused to recognize me for a time so that I can go back to Kenya. But I refused.
But God, who is God?
I refused. I said, I go to Kenya so that you can stress me out with the child support and everything.
Support and everything, not possible.
No. I will stay here where they recognize women's rights. Because if I went there, he knows all the government people. I'm gonna get frustrated there. Nobody's gonna listen to me.
Exactly.
So I had to fight here, because here they recognize women.
And that's the most wise choice, like you chose. You know, I feel like being in Europe gives you a better leverage than if you're back in Kenya and having a case over.
But it doesn't make. I mean, either way, because the children will be anyway. First of all, Belgian citizens, right? So
the children were Belgian.
Yeah. So the
but
mother,
he refused to recognize me
Very
so
good.
that I can get frustrated to go back. You understand?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. But I was going to say either. I mean, the mother has the right to stay, therefore, with the children because they're both minors. But they're Belgian citizens, but they need the the protection of their
The
of a
mom.
parent. So
Yeah.
and the
Yeah, yeah,
parent has the right to be with their children. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, generally that's the way the law works. So
And I think that's why she said
Yeah.
like she had to
Um,
stay where the laws are actually working.
yeah, but I mean, whatever he was.
It was not as
Right.
easy because he did not want to recognize the marriage here. You
Oh,
understand? So then
Okay.
I'm on a visit visa with Belgium children. We're
Wow.
not visit visa, okay? You understand what I mean?
Now it does click. Now it points home.
but even then, because
So you're visiting.
No,
you're visiting, I
Because
know, but I mean,
because the
but
paperwork is not yet done. So
Yeah.
whatever you came with is what they recognize you
Oh,
as.
sorry, right.
Until you start to apply for everything else, then you
Remember?
start to fight for
Okay.
it. You
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
But
It does
you know,
make sense
if you're fighting for it with somebody who wants to frustrate you,
Yeah.
You have you're in a like it's messy.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Then it's messy.
You
Then it's
understand what I
really
mean?
messy. Yeah, I do
Yeah,
understand
so
now.
messy. So,
Now it's
but
really
as I
messy.
said, let me just say one thing, like clear for everybody. We're in a very good place. He's
Yeah.
always been the papa of the children. The boys
Always.
love him. Yeah.
Always.
And we always joke like we are better best friends than married. You know?
I think sometimes it gets to that point, and I'm glad like you both have established some sort of togetherness. You understand? Like togetherness in terms of raising the children.
Well, yeah, I
Like
mean, because
you are the mom, he is the papa. There
Mhm.
you have now have like an additional member, maybe whatever he is, he has like maybe one or two children. Those are also like yours now. So that's what I'm saying, a sense of togetherness, you know?
Even his younger child, he calls me Big Mama.
See, I love that. I really,
He
really
said
love
we
that.
go to Big Mama house.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that.
But
That
I
is
see
so
like
beautiful.
it's choices, guys. It's choices.
Yeah,
Even when they go low, choose to go high. Because ile kile unapanda, that thing you put in the ground is exactly what you will reap.
Exactly. My mom
Don't look-
usually had this say in mother tongue that if someone gives you a cow dung, you don't give them a cow dung back. You know? If someone feels like the only thing they can always bring you is a cow dung, you can always tell them, you know, actually, I used the cow dung and had some maize, so here, have a corn.
Nice, sprinkle. Yeah.
It's really relatable to what you're saying right now because
Mm.
you have a situation that kind of does not seem like someone wants to work it out, but you as a woman and as someone who's like the more mature person in this all situation sees the future beyond whatever is happening at the moment.
I don't even want to say mature. I want to say self-aware.
Yes,
Let's change
that's
that word.
Yeah, kind of
Self-aware.
presence of
Let's
mind.
change, because maturity is very elusive. You can have a 20-year-old who's very, very mature than a 40-year-old acting like an 18-year-old. Okay?
Yeah, true.
Self-aware.
Self-awareness.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah.
Miss
The
Sunshine,
one
this
who is
so
more
amazing.
self-aware, not
Yeah.
mature. Let's change those things. It's
Yeah.
different energies on those two.
Totally, I agree with you. I really do agree with you. So far, like raising the two families, was it easy from the beginning? Like not like the other family is still not having children, but basically like the point where you have children and she has children, and now raising these together. Was it an easy transition for
So,
you,
you know,
for example?
he met her when she doesn't have a child. So her first children were my children.
Okay. So there was some sort of motherhood
Building.
feeling
I mean,
in her.
I was taking her to school to get prepared, you know, I was with my kids, you know. So so she learned her motherhood through my children. Carlos and
Richie
Raphael.
Roger says age is no guarantee of maturity. I agree with you
I
100%.
agree. Yeah.
And youth is no excuse for foolishness. Wow, Richie. Hey, speaker.
Hey,
Because I think
that's
most of
nice.
the time,
And you,
the reason why I really love the conversation we're having right now is most of the time, or sometimes, not most of the time, not to everyone, but to some people, you meet somebody, whether in Kenya or let's say abroad, where things are now like more, and it's another different dynamic. But you do meet people who have families already. In our case, we have not. He didn't have any families by the time we were meeting. So I just met him as, Mr. Mans, the cuteness.
nice.
And to hear you sharing about this shows that this, again, the two sides of life, the things that really happen on a daily basis. When I sit here and talk about my experience, I'm talking about the one-sided story, and not every woman's story.
Sorry, I was receiving a call.
Sorry, no worries. So
I think
really
I need to leave and then rejoin, because can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Yes, very well.
Yeah.
Are you able to hear us?
Okay. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can I leave and join, or some?
Okay.
And then
No one.
can I leave and
No
join?
one.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. See you in a
15
bit.
amazing people. See you in a bit. 15 amazing people in the house. I really, really appreciate all of you for being here, for staying with us, for running our live video. We really, really appreciate this. You guys, hugs from me. Can you give them some love? I really appreciate this. Like, I really do appreciate this. And thank you so much for being here with me at the same time. And thank you to our children also for being so amazing today.
Yeah,
they have been remarkably quiet, taking care of each other. Yeah. So that is really beautiful. And everyone who's here, I really, 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 really do appreciate this. Like, I really do appreciate this. For everyone who has shared this stream, thank you so much, in whatever platform it is. For anyone who's always going to watch this and you watch it later, thank you so much. Anyone running me on more than one gadget, I appreciate you guys so very much. And for every comment I'm getting from you guys who are in the comment section, you are amazing. And I love you all so, so very much. So very much. So, you have
should we get back to the topic?
What facts?
So, have we finished it off?
Coming to Finland.
Yeah.
Okay, I think now the only part that was left now was Zamu, hey, Shanice, hey, Zamushaya, God, thank you so much for coming. Everyone who's here, thank you so much. Shanice from Kenya, Nakuru, really appreciate you. Oh, by the way, guys, also, you can let me know where you're watching us from. It will be so nice to just know. We are streaming this from Finland with my husband. Of course, we had Miss Sunshine and many other people. So please let me know where you're watching from, and I'd really just love to know. Tony says, imekuwa poa sana. Thank you so much, Tony. Thank you for everything. I really appreciate you guys. Chinese Kiki, Zamushaya, again, I'll give you guys a shout out. Richie Roger, Esther N, Tony Nzomo, Tekla Clay, Waweru, Lilian, Tony Nzomo, again, Grace Maguri, thank you so much. Marugi, thank you so much. Barakiz, thank you so much. Zamushaya, thank you. You guys are just amazing. Miss Kanyiri Vlogs, thank you. Lily Ann, thank you. Nasimwendo, amazing. Thank you so much. I hope you are now spinning that ugali or whatever you're making. Elevating with Esther, thank you so very much. Really appreciate it. Just getting to Miss Sunshine, please try joining the broadcast again one more time. There's a technical okay, there you are in the background. I just changed. There we go. And she is back. Thank you so very much. Nice Analog Nelly, thank you so much, Zamu. Tony says imekuwa poa sana. Zamu Shaya says nice analog, thank you so much. Pendo Scott is watching from USA. Tony is watching, and Miss Sunshine. So, Tony, Kiki, Miss Sunshine, 3 people represented in one from Belgium. Belgium, you guys are so amazing. Thank you so very much. Shanine is from Kenya, motherland. Sprinkles, sprinkles, sprinkles. Thank you guys so very much for this. What are we talking about?
What is saying? Have we covered everything for the Finland rule?
I think we have. No, okay. The part we did not talk about is now after coming here, the process. Of course, going to Migri and going to, okay, so guys, I think Miss Sunshine, because you're also here, I would also want to know if you did like the same thing. Once we arrived to Finland, of course, you always have to go to the immigration, is it Migri immigration department, and tell them physically, tell them you
Did you have to?
Yeah, we went there.
Yeah,
so our residence permits came when we were still in Kenya.
Or the Helsinki, the government used to do a notification to them. Remember, we went to the Helsinki office.
Yeah. To just notify them that you have arrived.
Yes, I mean, the local municipality, the government. We had to do that. Just to say
so you do the same. Like we are now
absolutely. You say like I'm here and this is my address. And I also advise, like, also as a African in diaspora, is that to also alert your embassy where you are.
Yeah.
We neglect that. It's very important. Because if something happens to you, then they know that you exist
in a certain country. Wow.
Absolutely.
That would have really off our minds.
I don't think you've done that.
I've not done that myself.
Your embassy also has to know your location.
I think I need to do that. Thank you for pointing that out, Sprinkles on that. I think I have to also do that myself. I have I have now my second visa. No, not visa, residence permit. And I have not done the most important
which is
of being in Finland, as a foreigner, which is also telling my government where I am. And dating with Esther says greeting from Australia. We love you so much. And sprinkles. So after coming, you had to notify your Austria. Okay, not Australia. So after coming, you had to notify. You had to go to your immigration department and also notify everything. We went to Migri.
I can't remember Migri, but
we went to Migri.
What is it we had to tell them? I have to forget.
We just went to Migri because we were also getting the Keller card stuff for me and Adrian. Because Matthew already had the citizenship
number,
the social security number. I did not have. No, I had because I had.
No, because they come with the residence permit.
By the time we were getting here, we had basically we had done everything when we were in Kenya. But for some reasons, we still went. No, we're going to tell them even our address we had. Notify them of our address.
Was it that?
Our physical location.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the police comes to confirm that you actually live in the location. The local police.
Well, they didn't have to do that, but you went to the.
Oh, really? In Belgium, they do that.
She had to get an ID, so she has to go to the police.
Here you have to go to
office
the police
to get the Finnish ID card. So then
then you have to say where you live,
Well, they don't come and visit.
But they didn't come to visit.
They come in Belgium to verify that you are actually staying there. And then once you get the police signature is when you go to the Gemeente, to the local municipal, as you said, the government, and then that's when they give you the card.
Okay.
But for the transfer, it's you work with that temporary 6 months card that you cannot leave the country.
Yeah.
And then after that is when they give you like the one, the ID that you can do the EID login and stuff like that.
Okay.
Okay.
So as
Yeah.
I think by the time we were coming, I already had my residence permit.
So for 1 year.
Ah,
And
really?
for
Yeah, they
1
give you
year.
one for 1 year, and then
And then when we came, after we went to
Right.
tell them of our physical location, what we did was we then they told us to go and apply for the ID almost immediately, but with no hurry. So then we went and applied for the ID. So I feel like that there comes a little bit of a difference, you know, how the two systems are run. But that's a good thing to
But
know.
that's interesting because you're in Norway. Norway is in Schengen,
I'm in Finland.
Finland.
Yeah.
Sorry, girl. But
Sorry,
that's
no
also
worries.
Schengen. In the
I think so.
Schengen.
Yeah.
I thought that Schengen, the European law was like, okay, so it's different.
I feel like
I mean,
Finland
individual.
generally, I would say, they have like a lot of transparency, and maybe they expect when people come follow the same thing, because they don't get like to come and see, unless you get like into trouble with the police. Like if
Yeah.
you do like something illegal, then you have the police by your door. But otherwise, we don't you never get to see them on your
Really?
doorstep. No,
That's
never.
different up in
Even
here.
like this thing where like you meet a policeman by the road, and then they're like, because of course they're always like strolling the road with cars like driving slowly.
Yeah.
Stop, nothing like that.
That's
But
a
the
good
only time the
situation.
police will be called on you like so fast. You know, that one time when you forgot to buy your ticket,
Yeah.
then you have a direct contact with the police. So
Me,
I feel like
I have a direct contact with the police because my neighbor is police.
oh wow. So you have the lawmaker as your
Shit.
neighbor.
Man, they have to come and check my sunshine.
As your neighbor. That's so beautiful. Wow.
No, it's not. It's not because he
It's
reminds me
not.
about the law all the time.
No, you're always going to stay safe because you're always reminded of what is right to be done, you know?
No, that's Babylon, man. That's Babylon.
And you always have someone you can brainstorm with. That is, I think, for you
No
guys,
way.
an added advantage.
That one is bad energy, Babylon energy. Really.
That's an added advantage, I think. Really
No,
depends.
he stops my music in the night. You know, it's 10 o'clock. I'm like, and then when I'm smoking my shit, hello, we will need, we are not going to have cannabis in this house. I'm like, shit. No, it's not good energy at all.
I think that they make sure you're doing the right thing at the right time. What do you think?
I am doing the right thing at the right time. Believe me.
Wow. Okay. And another question I wanted to bring into this is the aspect of raising kids abroad versus raising kids in Kenya. What do you think?
You know what? I think here no shade, people don't come for me, but
It's an open
no shade, but I think me being, I will talk out of my experience, okay?
Sure.
Me being a single mom, if I had these children in Kenya, then, you know, it's either international school or a private school. You know what I'm saying? Here, the education is almost free. True. And the way they teach is different. It's more practical. I'm seeing, because me, I'm raised with 844. And then I had a period that I went to an international school in Sri Lanka. Then I was back in Kenya, you know, so I saw those things. And now I see it here too. Like how they're being taught is so different from the 844, like pass your exams, It's more practical. So for me, I think for my children, it's better here. And as a single mother, it's better here.
It's better here.
Yeah.
Because I also get like, I'm sorry, I also get like kindergeld, like children's money.
Support, yeah.
Yeah. Being a single mother with the children in my address. So can you imagine? We don't have these systems in Africa.
True. And no one is going to ever care how you're raising your child if you can't, if you're not able to do it yourself. Yeah, that's very true. I think I do agree. Just go on first.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, for this system here, being a single mom of 2 boys, it's good for me. And also being a singer who's from Africa, bringing their African sauce on this Belgium, it's sweeter for me.
It's more sugar.
Everything is in alignment.
Marinates in a nice way. Love that so much. I feel like for me, I raised my kids in Kenya for a long time before coming to Finland. And in Kenya we had to pay private schooling, of course, because they go to international schools. Reason being, I felt like for me as a parent, especially after having my second child, and it was very clear to me that I didn't want to put them through public education. And I say it's not the same to every parent, because there's still children who come from mixed families who go to the same public schools. And I'm not like putting any diss on our educational system and stuff.
Absolutely.
But my experience as a parent of bearing these children and just raising them at home was always beautiful, with some little bit of nuggets here and there. So I remember, I'll give you an example. I have big boobs, and for such, for most time before Double D's opened and these like curvy shops, if I go to Woolworths, I'll find something that fits, but it's not like a good fit. Like at the back, it didn't fit so much. So what I used to do, I'll go to thrift markets and buy from them. And so there's this lady, and I think it was just during that 1 year of pregnancy. So I got connected to this lady who did like a thrift market within CBD and stuff. And one time,
somebody was calling me again.
No worries. So through pregnancy and everything, she was just really nice, And then after I gave back, of course, I still have an overload of deliveries to give, which is the milk. And one day she says, we can just sell this baby and then we'll get some money. And I think for me, that was just the moment when I realized I could never just do it. So yeah. And for me, that is why we did basically like international education. And on the other note, I think also the quality of education here, I feel like it's much more better that even if the school system is all set up for everyone, like no one is special than the other.
Yeah.
So back at home, whatever you have is what the quality you get is from what you can pay for.
Yeah.
Like your pocket will always determine what you get. But if you can pay for it and you can do it, then you go ahead and do it. But sometimes when numbers start adding, where you have 1 and then 2 and then 3, some people are still able to pay for it. But if you have an option, I feel like abroad gives you a better option. And like in Finland, education is free. Like we don't pay anything. We don't buy lunch for our kids. We don't pack no lunch, unless like for the kindergarten, once in a week, maybe they're going to the forest trip or something. Then you pack a snack, But generally, it's a free education system, and you're able to take your child in, they get education, and they get everything that should rightfully be theirs. At the same time, I think the health system at home, you're always like so much in panic. Like if at all you don't have insurance, which I really advise, if you're raising children in Kenya, you really, really need your insurance cover, and also make sure that you know the terms and the conditions that your cover covers for and what it does not cover for. So, but here, like you need your insurance. You should have your house insurance and health insurance, but you still can go to the hospital and get treated at a not so expensive. Like there's a fee you pay, but it's not too much.
Yes, it's
And
fractional.
the bill will always come like to your address. So that is also like so amazing. And generally I would say like I don't know. I feel like for me, I'd say it all outweighs. What I miss most is that my children are not able to like see their grandma like every time, because of course we always have to like plan for the visits and stuff, compared to before when you wanna show? You like that? Your car? Oh, your car is so beautiful. Your car is so
But the thing about the
beautiful.
lady in the market, I mean, did you make it clear that what was happening?
Not really.
Because you said couldn't just do it. I mean, I think that wasn't what you meant.
I think when someone puts a money value to
They meant that she while you were trying on her item, she was in the process. She looked like
also
she made that comment, and then she was acting suspiciously. She was
and at that
holding
time like she was holding my baby.
Matthew and then acting very suspiciously. And yeah, it was quite a.
So for me, from that time, that was like the only time I just knew in my mind that I could not do it myself. But it works for many other people. Like I've seen many people, there are many women who are amazingly raising their children who have not yet had these experiences. And so experiences do differ from one person to the other. Guys, thank you so much for everyone who's still watching right now. I think I'll end the stream right now because we have to get the kids to bed right now. And I really, really appreciate everyone who's been watching. Kina Tony, Elevating with Esther, Binchero, thank you so very much. Pendo Scott, really love you so very much. Zamushaya, thank you. Shanice Wambui, thank you so much. Kina Richie Roger, Chinese Kiki, Tony Nzomo, asanteni sana. Lilian Waweru, Tekla Clay, asanteni sana tena sana. Elevating with Esther, I think nimekusoma. Berakiz, thank you so much. Ivy, thank you. Zamushaya, thank you. You know, you guys have been so amazing, so amazing. Lily Ann, thank you so much. Nancy Mwendo, how could I end this without mentioning you? Thank you so very much, even in your absence. Miss Casey, thank you so much. Barakiz, thank you. Nyagas in Dubai, thank you so much. Miss Sunshine, you have given us a very amazing conversation. And I really, really, really thank you, sweetheart, for being here, for sharing with openness, with love, and just bringing the sun in this space. I really, really appreciate you so very much. And thank you so much for every love that you guys have given us through this conversation. I really, really appreciate it. Muroki, gracious, thank you so very much. Which flag is this?
It's Kuwait.
Kuwait. Oh wow, that's so beautiful. Many countries in here. Thank you guys so. You can't comb my music, Daniel. It's so curly. No. Can you comb your hair? Can I see how you comb your hair? Beautiful. So thank you guys so much. If you have a friend who will need all of this information, please share with them. Tony Zomo, thank you so much. Elevating with Esther, nice evening to you too, sweetheart. I really, really appreciate this. So if you can share this with any of your friends who would be thinking of moving abroad through education or anything like that, or marriage, or just same circumstances, we've had two amazing spectrums of conversation with Miss Sunshine, and of course what we started with, which was us. So I think it would be really nice to share with your friends. At the same time, anyone who wants to know us best, we also did like a break where we talked about get to know me, get to know us better. And so I'm looking forward to doing more of these with you guys. And I really appreciate everyone who has been here, who's going to watch this stream. I really, really love you guys so much. So guys, until the next one, we just want to say thank you.
Thanks so much.
Daniel is showing you the best detangling comb ever, right? Is this the best comb ever? It's so amazing. It makes your hair look so cute. tuacheni comments kwa other comment section. Yeah, and guys, if you are still here, please remember to leave me a comment, a like on the video as well, and interact with me on the comment section at the same time. I really, really will appreciate that. Anita, thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate this so very much. If you can share this, please do so. If you watch this video, please leave me a comment, like the video so that other people can also see the same information and use it at the same time. I really, really, really from the bottom of my heart is so thankful for all of you, and thank you once again so much. Do you have anything to say?
No, it's just thanks for stopping by. Yeah, it's been almost.
Thank you so much, you guys.
We thought it was 4.
We started at 4.
What a marathon.
Thank you so very much for taking the time for keeping the conversation going.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much. Can we say thank you? Taquitos. Yeah, cake bar. Thank you guys so much. Bye bye. We'll see you in the next one. Say, I'll see you next time. Yeah. Hey, Pa. Thank you so very much from us, from Finland, to you wherever you are. We give you light. We wish you peace, hope, joy, and may your dreams come true. And this energy that you've given to us today, may the universe always reward you with the same. The shares, the comments. I love you guys so much. So thank you once more. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Tony, so very much. Kwaherini sana. See you soon on the next one. And always interact with me on Instagram. We can always continue with the conversation there. If you have any questions or any topic you want us to address, please bring them in. I'm always here. So thank you so very much. And once again, Shura, thank you so much for sitting down with me and having this conversation with me. You're the best. Love you. I love you. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
See you.